Tell me what you learned in grade school. Give it to me like you want it. Did you forget that golden rule? Why is our love it one-sided? It should really be give and take. Fill you up and leave me empty. Baby, was that my mistake? Covering these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad right now, I can't even think straight. So I'ma just tweet it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just tweet it and delete it before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Rewind, rewind, rewind. Tell me what choice I have now. I just wanna get it right with you. But if we try to talk about it, our history says we'll just argue. And I know you're gonna act a fool, and then no one could tell the difference between me and you, babe. Watching from a distance, hiding these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad, but now it's at my own expense. So I'ma just tweet it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just tweet it and delete it before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Maybe I need some space, need somewhere else to go, to release, to relax, to let my emotions flow. But for now, I just read it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just tweet it and delete it, oh, before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Rewind, rewind, rewind.
Good morning, everybody. Speaking of rewinding, I want to turn back the hands of time a little bit. And every day this week, I'm going to be going live. I plan to go live at 7 a.m., which is a little bit of a throwback. When I kicked off the show many years ago online, I think we was going like 6:30, 7 a.m. But like I said, sometimes you need to change up the flow a little bit. And also, you might be getting notifications on Facebook from a different place, from my personal page as well. So I want to capture as much attention and as many views as possible. And I also want to change with the times a little bit. So all week long, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, if people like it, I'll go 7 a.m. every morning. So I'm planning on going from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. We'll see. We might even do 3 hours like we used to do old school. Why not? We can. And the world needs it. So let's give it just a couple more minutes, because I know people get notifications. They're used to us coming on at 7:30, 7:30-ish. But like I said, I want to shock the folks and capture as much attention. I know people are getting up earlier these days because their children are going to school. And I want to give you something interesting, some infotainment as you're making your transition from home to school, from home to work, or maybe from home to school, and then you got to go to work once you drop the kids off. I want to give you something you can listen to early in the morning. So please, family, hit me with that like and share. Hit me with that like and a share. As I said before, when you share the show, more people see it. So on today's show, among other things, because my plan is, as I do every single Monday, is to keep you hip on what's happening locally and what's been going on over the weekend. I'll do just that. But there was something interesting that caught my attention over the weekend. A viral video, or at least, viral video that I watched of purportedly, it shows a mom caught on video beating up a preschool teacher that she accused of abusing her daughter. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. This is what's being reported. And it really begs a question. What would you do in a situation like that? And was the mother wrong? Was the mother wrong? I'll give you all the details. Plus, looks like there's a new fashion trend for black men that you might be hip to. I'll show you the images and get your reaction. All that and plus more. You know me. Superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure from one man with one microphone. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. But again, we're up early at a different time frame. I want to give people a little bit of a chance to find us. I'll hit the intro music, give you about 90 seconds, 2 minutes, somewhere around that. And then we'll put the cam up and get the show started, okay? Sound good? Good.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my told him it's nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you all my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talking about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'm a spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is a beautiful Monday. Beautiful Monday. Great to be with you. The Bengals got a win yesterday. Who they? Who they? Good morning to you. Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? I know all my Bengal fans, they so happy. You got some new unis. You got some new wide receiver rookies catching 50-yard bombs. What? Joe Burrow is back. The jungle is rocking. But pump the brakes, Bengal fans. It's just one game, yo. It's just one game. Chill, chill, chill. It's just one game. My Bengal fans is going crazy out here. We're going to the Super Bowl. Chill, chill, chill. Just enjoy the game. Y'all get way too ahead of y'allself. I know my friends, I got a lot of Bengal fans friends. They going nuts right now. They is super happy. What? We got the what? What? We lose those type of games. Cincinnati Enquirer. These are the type of games the Bengals usually lose. Pump the brakes, Bengal fans. Pump the brakes, local media. Let's wait. It's a long season. Let's wait a little bit and see how all of this stuff, shakes out before y'all get the people all super excited and everything. Chill, chill, chill. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to my people on TuneIn. Good morning to my people on Spreaker. Good morning to my people on YouTube, like Brandy and others. Good morning to my people on Facebook. Good morning to you. Yeah, you like, damn, Nate, it's early. Yeah, why not? Why shouldn't we get up at 7 like we used to? Yeah, get your coffee or your tea, green tea, no sugar. Little bit of that unfiltered, unprocessed honey. You Gucci. Good morning to you. Early risers been up, what? You've been up since 4:35. Because early risers rule the world. Get up early. Short men and early risers rule the world. What up, Vince? Appreciate you, bro. Good to see you. What up, what up, what up? Good morning, fam. I told you I'm not done with this yet until I reach my goals. And even after that, I ain't going nowhere. Let me clean my glasses real quick. I'm going to put the screen up, the cover art real quick. Well, I make sure my glasses are looking good. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Now, for people that might be coming across the stream, because I picked up a few new followers here or there on multiple platforms. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, the last honest place in America. And what you get here is super straight talk from the perspective of a black man. Simple as that. Now, if that sounds like something you can get into, great. I'm based in Cincinnati, so you hear me talk a lot about Cincinnati, but we talk about what's happening with folks all over the world, all over the country, all over the universe. We talk about it all. Hopefully in a way you'll find informative and entertaining. Hopefully. You can also call into this show at 513-873-7134. You can see the number right there. There's a caveat. Open your mind before you open your mouth. Other than that, a tis with the flick of the wrist, Craig. You also more than welcome to join the chat room. There's a caveat. I swim with sharks and they all bite. They all bite. This ain't no normal. I don't know what anybody else doing, but over here, right here with us, with the choppers, you got to come correct or you will be challenged. Hopefully in an intelligent way, but I have no control over it. It goes the way it goes. I ain't saying you got to walk on eggshells, but get to know some folks first. That's all I'm saying. I'll say it again. I swim with nothing but sharks, and they all bite. They all bite. So I'm just going to tell you, like, everybody gets it. Good morning to you. What do we talk about? People, politics, and pleasure. Who doesn't like pleasure? Raise your hand if you like pleasure. I know I do. I know I do. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Do I look different? That man's skin looking amazing on that camera right there. What is he doing? That's called plant-based living. That's called intermittent fasting. So I fasted over the weekend. I may do this every weekend. I feel so great about it. I started my fast at about 7:30 p.m. on Friday. I broke the fast at about 4 p.m. on Sunday. How many hours is that? Like 40 hours? Do you know what fasting does to your body? You don't know? Well, you better go look it up. I'll say it again to all my peoples out there. In the black community, you got all kinds of things like diabetes and high cholesterol and heart disease. You're looking at a man that survived a cardiac event in February of 2020. Yeah, me. Yeah, it was real. It's the food. It's the lifestyle. Plant-based. Plant-based. Put that food down, Craig. You see somebody with a chicken wing in their hands, smack that chicken wing out their hands. You know what I'm saying? Get you some cauliflower chicken wings. It don't taste nowhere near the same, obviously. But your body's going to love you. Your arteries will be doing this, smiling. You know what I'm saying? Inside your body will be smiling. I just got to have bacon. Okay. You going to let bacon take 10 years off your life? I know I'm not. Smell that air. It feels so great to be alive. Great to be alive. Plant-based. It's the food that heals you. And mix in some intermittent fasting and get your ass up off the couch. Get to walking. Get to stepping. Step in the name of life. Step in the name of life. It'll transform you. You might be dealing with some chronic ailments. If you never tried the things I just told you, then you ain't serious. You just taking them damn drugs the white folks gave you. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Take control of your life. Food is medicine, along with some other things. Again, I'm an open book because I want my people to live as long and as healthy as possible. I want to live to 90, but when I get to be 90, I don't want to be all broken down and can't move and penis don't work and this don't work, all that. I want everything to be working tip-top all the way through life. This is how you do it. It's called a little bit of sacrifice. It starts right now. Be better than me. Be better. MG is hilarious. She writes, if I'm eating Rooster's chicken wings and someone smacks out my hand, I can't be held responsible for my actions. She is hilarious. How are we looking here? This is OCD. Just a little bit of something ticks me off, but she is hilarious. Listen, I'm going to say it again. What she said notwithstanding, if you see that somebody, that chicken wing, you smack it out their hands and give them some cauliflower wings. Some cauliflower wings. It'll be better for them. Much better for them. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Lots of stuff to discuss, man. Lots of stuff. Any bingo fans here? Who went to the game? Y'all go to the game down there? got mixed feelings about going to NFL games because I'm still on that Kaepernick shit. I'm still on the NFL ain't did a damn thing different. The minority ownership has not increased not one bit. I don't give a damn if Jay-Z and Beyonce are like Super Bowl halftime directors. I don't care about nothing like that. I don't care. I'm still a little pissed. I'm still lots of piss at the NFL, but it is what it is. I did catch some of the game on highlights. The Bengals uniforms are looking better. They're not exactly all the way there, but they're better than what they used to be. I'll say this, and I'm going to keep saying it. They need to get Cameron Means and his design team from Black Owned, or maybe some other of these T-shirt designers or whatever, to redesign the Bengals uniforms. They're going to do a better job. They're going to make some dope that people really want to watch. I'm just saying. They want to buy it. But they look better, though. I'll say that much. Before I go any deeper, man, I want to say happy birthday to my little bro. If you don't know, I have two little brothers that I grew up with. One is Remy. The other is Stones. Today is Stone's birthday. That's right. Chairman Mom gave birth to two Virgos. Two Virgos. Now, you know that woman deserves a freaking medal. Where is Chairman Mom at? I might call her this morning and say, you know what? Thank you. You deserve a medal. She gave birth and raised me. I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo. And my little brother, and he is a Virgo too. His nickname is Stones, and we didn't give it to him. He got that, let's say, during some sit down time. And as I understand it, he earned it. The man was hard-headed growing up. His head was hard like stones, hence the name Stones. And as a man, he ain't no different. But little bro, I love you. I'm glad you're here. And happy birthday. Happy birthday. Good morning to everybody. 513-873-7134. Patricia writes, bingo game is a super spreader event. I'm just saying. Yeah, I saw images, man. I didn't see a lot of people with masks on. I didn't see all of that, but I think what it is people have this idea that because it's outdoors that everything is safe. And I think it depends on the wind. It depends on the density of the crowd. I'm still one of those pro-mask people, even outdoors. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro-mask even outdoors. I'm sorry. And I'm vaccinated. 2 shots. Bing, bing. 2 shots. Bing, bing. So, you know, everybody got to do what they got to do when it comes to the vaccination. As it comes to the mask, it's just so easy. You ain't losing nothing. You ain't losing nothing at all. You not go, I can't breathe with the mask. That means you need to work out. It's not the mask, it's your body. That's what it is. You're maxing out with them wings. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But you want to brain that I can't breathe. I can't breathe. No, it's not the mask, it's you. It's you. Good morning to you. Good morning to my peoples here. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Happy Monday. Ashley writes, the movie Karen premieres tomorrow on BET at 10 p.m. Really? I can't wait to watch it. That Karen movie is hilarious, man. Basically, a black couple moves into what appears to be, you know, an affluent cul-de-sac neighborhood, big old houses, right? Everybody paying somebody to do their lawn, right? And swimming pools in the backyard, the whole 9 yards. They move next door to a white female whose name happens to be Karen, and she acts like a Karen. And she starts to harass them, which this is an example of art imitating life. This is art imitating life all day, every day. But let me get to the cover story, shall I? Yeah, you're right. Super spreader event. I'm not saying don't go to the game. Have your fun. I'm just saying, damn, put your mask on. Now, if you're drinking a little bit or whatever, is that how you drink a little bit? I thought I did universal blunts movement. I meant to do the universal drinking movement. Sorry about that. I get it. You know, you got to take the mask down a little bit and then put that quickly back up. I got to keep getting on my daughter because she one of these people run around here. I keep a mask close to me, never know. Run around here like this. Now, what the fuck is this supposed to do? I'm like, girl, you don't put this damn mask up. And she a teenager. Everything, she's an argument with her. But I just laugh at her. I keep my voice real calm like this. And I think to myself, she's 16. She's 16. Speaking of which, I got to tell you more about her upcoming homecoming. These children these days. Good morning to you. Tiff Tiff writes, who day? Let us enjoy this one win. Dang, Nate, enjoy your win. But don't act like that win is worth more than what it really is. I seen some people on Facebook, some of my Facebook friends, they all charged up like this is like you just won an AFC championship game. Pump the brakes. Just take it game by game. Easy. I know you win deprived. I know Cincinnati Bengal fans are win deprived. I know it's been a long time since you had a winning season. I know it's been a long time since you went to the AFC championship game, but chill. Simmer down, as one of my former colleagues used to say. Simmer down, who can't stand my guts these days. I think it has more to do with him than me. Simmer down. I'm going to hell. But as long as I can do a podcast, I'll be good. I'll be Gucci. Pat writes, this is the original time slot. That's right. We kicked it off going 7 a.m. to 10, 3 hours a day, which I still got it in me. But, sometimes your boy need a little break. Things fluctuate. You want to try different times. But I want to go back to 7 just because I want to capture more of your attention and spend more time with you. I want to get up early. I'm up anyway. I might as well. Because early risers rule the world. Mofos laying in bed till 12, they ain't running a damn thing. Getting up at the last second, you can't even control. How you going to control your life and you can't control your body? Get your ass up. Get up. Get them exercise it in. Get you some green herbal tea. Meditate a little bit. Blah, 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 blah. And there it is. You can get your day started. Good morning to you. Regina writes, let's get it. Good morning. Up at 4:30 a.m. See, that tells me something about Regina right there. You know what I'm saying? If you up early like that and you're being productive, you're going to win. You're going to win. Whatever that means to you, you might be an entrepreneur or whatever it might be, you're going to win because you're getting up. Good morning to you. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Deborah.
Get to the chopper!
I love the way that sounds. Pat writes, hey, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Brandy writes, greetings. Joe writes, grand risings, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Joe. Tiff writes, good morning, all. Good morning, all. Eloise is in the house. She writes, good morning. Good morning to you. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Brittany is in the house. Good to see you, Brittany. What is that? Looking good. We looking good over here, Brittany. She writes, good morning, Choppers. Have a great Monday. Well, we got professional headshots and shit like this and the profile picture. Head all done. Charles writes, grand rises, Nate and Choppers. Good morning to you. Mike Rogers writes, morning, Nate. Chop shop, take the day. Absolutely. Tiff writes, yep, just finished my HIT class, now out for a quick walk. What? You doing the HIT, high intensity interval training? Yeah. As you get older, especially, but HIT training for my men's out there, if you're trying to really like shake your body and maybe boost some testosterone, HIT training, and then a quick walk, what? You're going to have an excellent day. Sandra writes, she's watching. Good to see you. Jared's in the house. What's up, brother Jared? He writes, good morning, hashtag team and I, hashtag who day. See? The who day, the who days is coming out. Hootie hoo. That was one of the choruses for one of my all-time, one of the greatest all-time groups, hip-hop groups of all time. Anybody know? Quick quiz. I didn't plan this, but quick quiz. Hootie hoo. Who? What song? What group? That's part of the chorus from a song from one of the greatest hip-hop groups of all time. Mike writes, let's not act like the Bengals didn't try to lose that game. They was trying to lose. They won. Brandy writes, good morning. Happy Monday. Who day? Charles Holmes is in the house. He writes, good morning. Marsha writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Jared is on point. He writes, Outcast. Absolutely, brother. You already know. Hootie hoo. Outcast is so dope. I wish they'd come back and do a reunion tour. Hold on, let me do my prayers. I'm going to mix in a prayer for Outkast. Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. And also, can you make Outkast come back, God? Thank you. There it is. Got to keep one eye open when you do your prayers, man. When you close your eyes, people they try to creep up on you. You close your eyes altogether, people try to creep up on you, and we can't have that. We can't have that. Ray writes, good risings, all. Good morning to you. So let me get back to the cover story, and I want to know what you think about this. I would play the video for you, but the video that I found, the quality is not so good. If you go to MTO News, hopefully you're hip to them, MTO News, you can find the story if you Google that and put in MTO News. But on the video, and I watched it, it shows a woman chasing another woman into this, what appears to be like a classroom setting, and she starts hitting her with them blows. And the way the story is being reported is that a mother beat up a preschool teacher that she accused of abusing her daughter. My question is, was she wrong? Was she wrong? If in fact the allegation of abuse is true, is she wrong? Is she wrong? Have you ever, if you have children, have you ever had to deal with a situation, maybe at the preschool or maybe at the school, where you felt like a teacher was abusing your child or you had to step in and say something? I'd like to get your thoughts. Again, you can give me a call at 513-873-7134. I'm going to check and see if I can find a better quality video, because literally the video that I saw is like it's like a screenshot video of the video, and it's like very, very small, and you really can't see it, and it's like not even worth me even trying to show it to you, because you're not going to really see too much of it. I mean, can I get it here? If you really want me to show you, it's not the best quality, but I will. Purportedly, this story comes from St. Louis, and it makes you wonder. I mean, in the video, the woman, the mother lands a haymaker, straight hit the target, knocks the woman off her feet, then gets on top of her and starts putting hands on body. That's just from yesterday. Or actually it was from last week. Was she wrong? And see, on the bottom there is purportedly the preschool teacher, and on top of her, I know it's very hard to make it all the way out, but you can't see two human beings, and that's a fist that is pummeling down on her. And I don't know, man. I will tell you, everybody knows I have two children. One is 16, one is 6. So we went through the whole preschool thing. And I will tell you, from a parent perspective, from my own personal perspective, that is the most nerve-wracking thing in the world. It just, you can't even really be comfortable. You know, that's why, man, having kids is such a big thing, because those preschool years, you might be at work, but you nervous as hell, aren't you? You are nervous. You're nervous because you never really trust anybody outside of family with your baby. And you dropping your baby off with these people, you don't know what the hell's going to do. That's why in most cases, when people find a preschool where they feel comfortable and they feel like, okay, there's some good adults here, they usually stick with it, because that is such a nerve-wracking thing. And I said it before, I'm at my most dangerous when it's about my family. That's apex. You might get a foot in your ass time when it comes to my children, wifey, all that kind of stuff. With me, I can laugh shit off. If you're not a threat to me, I don't really pay no mind to that little talking and all that kind of stuff. But with the fam, you already know people don't play no games with that. They don't play no games with it. And thankfully, I've never had a situation where I had to, in a preschool situation, where I felt like I really had to do something. I'll be honest with you. I've had a situation with my daughter at her high school with a teacher, where I was this close to going in a motherfucker's ass right then and there. But that's different. You know what I'm saying? It's not preschool. They're so young. They're 2, they're 1, they're 3. They really can't articulate things. When they get older, your kids can articulate to you what's going on and things like that. So it's a little bit differently. But I thought about this, family, and I really want to get your thoughts before I share mine. I want to get your thoughts. Good morning to you. Charles writes, Outcast, correctamundo. Nakia writes, good morning. Charles writes, the Bengals weren't trying to lose the game. That's laughable. People will say anything. No, the Vikings were trying to win the game. They ain't trying to lose. Everybody, I firmly believe that all those Bengal players and the coaches, they get paid to win, not lose. So I hear the point you're trying to make. You saying it was on some Keystone Bengal type stuff. Jane writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Jane. Good morning to you, Sean. Good to see you, bro. And the mighty Shop Rice. Yeah, appreciate everybody being here. Yeah. You got that Did you get the notification? Where'd you get the notification on Facebook? You might have got two. You might have got two. I'm just curious. I don't want to confuse people, but I want to maximize our visibility as much as possible. So if you don't mind, hit me with that like and that share. Hit me with that like, hit me with that share. And let people know where we are and what we doing and how we doing it. How we doing it. I'll be honest with you, man. I got some great advice. So I reached out on the friends who like the Nathan Ivey Show page. I'm thinking very seriously about changing the name and the direction of that Facebook group to support something that I want to do. So don't be surprised if you see that. To me, it doesn't have to have my name on it. That doesn't mean anything to me. And actually, it was Jane who actually started that group. I appreciate her for that. Yeah, so that was, fan supported, if you want to use that word. But that was then, this is now, and I've got another direction I want to move in. So I posted, I think it was on Saturday. I posted that, no, it was on Friday, that I was looking to get some feedback from you, from the listeners, about this show and about the other podcasts that we're doing. And I'm looking for, critical feedback that I can actually use. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the color. Don't help me. I don't like the music. Don't help me. I'm looking for something a little bit deeper. So what I'll do is share with you a little bit of what the direction is and just get your honest thoughts about it. To me, that's the only way you can grow. You can't be all caught up in your arrogance thinking you're doing everything right. You got to talk to the people that you're trying to serve and let them tell you. And I did just that. I had a few conversations over the weekend. All were very, very useful, very, very useful. And I appreciate your time for all the people that spent some time with me. And I got some really, really good advice from some folks that I really, really super respect that know what they're talking about in terms of this media game. So I'm going to put a lot of what they said to me in place, but I'm still looking for more. And again, this ain't the first time I do this. A couple times a year, just reach out to people. Sometimes I'll reach out to people directly with direct message. And then sometimes I'll put it out there and say, hey, listen, anybody that wants to hit me with direct message, I'll reach out to you. I didn't get a chance to connect with everybody, but I will between now and the next couple of weeks. Because, again, as I said, that's how you get better. How you get better? You get better by, especially when you're trying to service other people, you ask them. And so that's what the process is for me. Jane writes, it's time to change the group page, Nathan. It is. And Jane knows I've been talking about this for a couple years now, but she's right. It is time for it. It is time for it. So it can service a broader idea. So look for that. Absolutely. See, I appreciate that. Most definitely. You see, Mike writes, cut it out. They had a decent lead. He's talking about some sports talk. I don't really do sports talk, but I mean, I do culture talk. And sports is a part of Americana and culture. So you'll hear me talk about it here or there and all that kind of stuff. But that's not really my focus. I'll leave that to people who are better suited for that. That's not really my wheelhouse. But, I may talk about what LeBron doing here or there or the championships, especially if something's relevant happening. I'm hoping to get an interview with Dave Zirin. He just wrote a book, and he not just wrote it, but just published a book titled The Kaepernick Effect. So I'm going to reach out to him and see if he's available to come on the show and talk about his book. And what exactly is the Kaepernick effect? I'm really, really interested. I think very highly of Dave Zirin. I'm facing my bookshelf right now. I got about 4 of his books in my Dave Zirin collection or section in my book collection. I'm looking at it right now. All super dope. Like if you're somebody who's into the intersection of sports and politics, sports and race, sports and culture, sports and history, you should check out Dave Zirin. He's got a website called edgeofsports.com. I ain't saying he 100% on everything, but if you're into that kind of stuff, you might find it interesting. Let me throw the number up again, 513-873-7134. So over the weekend, no Is It Just Me podcast, Donnie is she worked. She's a lawyer. She got clients and all kind of big things she's doing. So she wasn't able to do the show on Friday. Hope she'll be back next Friday. On Sunday, we had Straight Talk with Edna Howe. She had Leonard Pitts Jr. on. Yeah, Leonard Pitts Jr., who is one of my favorite black columnists. And y'all already know I've been a Leonard Pitts Jr.'s fan for years. for years and years. You love to hear the brother's commentary, and we go back and forth over the years. But he was on with Edna. If you missed it, check it out. And then the lovely ladies from the Melanin Insights podcast was talking about addiction and drugs in Hollywood. What really sparked it off is the news this past week of Michael K. Williams, brother from The Wire, among other things. He played Omar. Yeah, it looks like he overdosed. Sad, man, sad. But very interesting flows. Check it out. Check them out. Good morning to you. Sean just beat me to the punch. He writes prayers for the family of the young woman murdered in Walnut Hills over the weekend. That's exactly what I was about to talk about, Sean. I saw that. And y'all already know, or at least if you don't know, I'll tell you now, that my grandparents owned a home in Walnut Hills. I grew up in Walnut Hills. I grew up in a lot of places because I was a Section 8 kid. You know how Section 8 works. If you don't, then basically we moved around a whole lot. I lived in all kind of neighborhoods. I lived in the over the Rhine, lived on the west side, lived in Mount Healthy, lived in Green Hills, lived in Forest Park, lived in Bond Hill, lived all over the place. But the place that was always central to me was Walnut Hills. So I call that home. I'm very affectionate of Walnut Hills. And a black woman was found murdered. And apparently she was 30 years old, fatally shot. 30 years old, fatally shot. And she was apparently, from what I'm reading, she was a law student. And looks like, at least on paper anyway, that she had a lot to live for. Let me see if I can put that image up for you. She had a lot to live for. And I'm thinking, what in the hell is going on here? Who out here shooting black women? What the hell? Yeah, this sister right here, 30 years old, fatally shot in Walnut Hills, police say. Have you heard this story? Oh, it's super sad. Super sad. She was killed in a shooting. And she was found, her name is Sierra Allen. She was found suffering from a gunshot wound. And I don't have any backstory, anything like that. We don't really know now. I'm sure authorities have more information that's been released. But what a sad story. What a sad story. So for most deaf, Sean, great minds think alike. Prayers go out and condolences to her family here. And I hope and by they, I mean the police. I wish I had the information. I'd turn their ass in. I'm one of those kind of black folks. And I hope that they find the perpetrators. And again, I can't speculate, but again, on paper, from what I'm reading, it looked like she had a lot to live for and that her life was on point. You know, she was a law student, right? Which is a really big step. And this makes you wonder, what in the hell did she do that would make somebody want to shoot her? You never can tell. It could have been mistaken identity these days. Could have been a simp ass Negro. It's a whole bunch of simp ass Negroes out here. You dating somebody else. Now I gotta kill you and all this kind of stuff. You don't want to be with me no more. And all these little simp ass Similac babies. I'm not sure what's going on with some of these men these days, but who knows? I don't know, but I will follow the story. And when more information comes out, I'll share it with you. Most deaf. So condolences. The fact that she's a law student doesn't put her death or her life above anybody else. All of these deaths are tragic and mean something to somebody. Everybody got a family, right? So I don't want to come across like her life was more important because she was a law student, but that is a part of the story and it makes you wonder what the hell happened. Nakia writes, I will follow the story, and she had 2 small children. She had 2 small babies. Oh man, that's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. So now these babies don't have a mama. Over what? I don't know. I almost don't want to know because it's probably some dumb shit. It's probably, excuse my language, but it's probably some dumb-ish. You know how these sucker simp ass people be out here these days. Nat writes, good Monday, choppers. Who they?
Get to the choppers!
Yeah, get to the choppers. Good morning to you. David writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Don writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Good morning to you, Don. Good morning to you. Nakia writes, I think I read it already. Sean writes, we as black men need to protect black women. It is our duty. 100%. 100%. Put that on the toddler in charge, not the players. Okay, they're talking about sports again. I'll let y'all have your conversations. Do what you do. The door is open for you. Feel free. Feel free. I give the number out a few times. Let me do it one more time. Here it is, 513-873-7134. If you like to share your thoughts this morning, I'm here to receive it. I'm here to receive it. Today's show is brought to you by my friends over at renewcommunitychurch.org. They got a brand new ebook that's available to you to download for free today. And the whole point of it is to give you the tools, to give you some tips on how to live your best life. So let's take a quick word from our sponsor, and I'll be back on the other side.
The words for today are to grow a better business. It takes 60 seconds for the universe, through the invisible law of attraction, to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you today because you are just 60 seconds away from growing a better business. Take the next 60 seconds and grow a better business by telling a business story for 60 seconds, 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it will take to change your life. Now say this better business story out loud 3 times a day. It is my divine and human right as an entrepreneur to grow and prosper my business so that I can bless others. My business is growing, expanding, increasing in revenue and profits today. For a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
I love you too, buddy. Hold on. You can say hello this morning real quick. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Guess who's here?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your first grader's here. And look what I got. It's a puppet. Puppet.
How was your weekend?
Good.
Okay, great. Anything else? Get this brush. Get to see your mother. Go brush your hair. There it is. Don't press the buttons.
You're not natural, baby. I see you got that perm in there. I still love you. You're gorgeous, but you're not nappy.
It takes
You got
a little
to be
bit
nappy, baby.
of white
You got
brainwash to activate the cool chip.
Get to the chopper!
Yep, that's my boy. That's my boy. What can I say? Oh man. Mike Rice, you can do it here, man. That don't bother me at all. I just it's just some comment. I don't read every comment. I mean, have your conversation, man. That's what we're supposed to be. We got to be social. Nothing wrong with that. Sports is part of the fabric of life, or at least American life anyway. Kevin Rice, good morning, choppers. What's up with you, Kev? On a sale? What up?
Go!
TC, I hear his mother getting his ass right now. TC writes, good morning. Gladys writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. What a beautiful sunrise. Really? Damn, I missed it. I'm in here with y'all. Nat writes, he's talking. Cash writes, one thing about Junior, he's going to press them buttons, Dad. Yeah, I know. On 2 levels. On 2 levels. All right, back to the cover story here. I want to get your thoughts about this. Did you see this viral video? You can Google it right now, and it may come up. And purportedly, it shows a mother caught on video beating up a preschool teacher. She got you together? Let me see. All right. Yeah, she got you together. Okay, good. You're looking good. Looking good. What's up, black woman? Hey. The sounds of a morning, right? The sounds of a morning. But purportedly, the video shows, and I watched the videos, it shows a woman, and she comes in, tracks this woman down. The woman's trying to run for her, landing haymakers, knocks her off her feet, and then starts going more like MMA style on her. And the way the story has been reported is that the preschool teacher abused the daughter. Now, what does that mean by abuse? I don't know. We don't have a whole lot of details. But let me see if I can find this for you. Let me see. Here it is. It's hard to see a little bit, I'll be honest with you. I'll show it to you anyway because it'll give you some insights as to what really happened. And I know many of you have children, And let's assume for a second that it's true, that on some form or fashion, the preschool teacher did abuse this little girl. I'd like to know, do you think that the mother, was she out of bounds? Was she wrong? Now, according to polite, standards and the law, then we would automatically say she handled it wrong. But that's the law. I'm talking about the way humans, natural law. I'd like to know what you think about that. I want to get your thoughts about that. What do you think? Have you ever been in a situation like that? What did you do? What's the right thing to do? Good morning to you. Woody writes, good morning, brother Nathan and the Choppers. Wear your mask every day, all day. Nikki writes, even when I'm outside, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I appreciate you being here. Oh, I'm getting a message. Okay, great. Now, while you contemplate the question I put before you, I want to remind you that tomorrow I will be your moderator for the NAACP Prince Hall Masons virtual, it's now virtual, town hall school board forum. I believe that there are 6 people on the ballot. 2 of them are incumbents. The 2 incumbents are Mike Morawski and Pam Bowers. So there's going to be some new people, right? Because you got 2 people who are not running for re-election. And what we've uncovered is, well, something that we already know. I think we've just been reminded. We were reminded between this year and last year just how pivotal a role that the school board plays here in the city of Cincinnati. Now, you know the way I feel about it, but I'll reiterate it for the people that might have missed it or don't remember. In my humble opinion, the city of Cincinnati will never reach its apex, will never be as good as we can be as a city until the Cincinnati public school system steps up their game. They are underproducing in too many areas, period. And don't hit me with all this, we improving, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Y'all still not on point in too many areas, in a lot of areas. It's a whole lot of room for growth. And the people who are on the school board are making life and death decisions. All right, Medium Buddha, love you. Well, let me see what you got on. What you got on? I can't open the blinds. Okay. What's up with the midriff showing? Can't you tuck that in? She's doing some bye. But what we found out is that they're making life and death decisions. They made life and death decisions early this year as related to COVID. We also found out that we have some school board members that don't think too quick. They don't think too right. They don't think too correctly. There's some question marks about their logic and their critical thinking. And so tomorrow's forum and any other forums that come are an opportunity for us to ask the incumbents and the challengers who they are. And I'm looking forward to it because I don't know shit about these people, be honest with you. I don't know what they stand for. And I'm more so for the challengers than the incumbents. If they're incumbent, we got a sense of who they are on some levels. But with the challengers, what I'm looking for is to figure out, who are you? I don't give a damn about no endorsements. I don't give a damn about no endorsements. I don't care about pictures you taking on Facebook and I don't care about none of that. What I want to know is, what do you stand for? What policies are you going to propose? Right? I mean, what's up with the black kids at CPS? How you feel about the way black children are treated? Black families are treated. What are we going to do to raise the bar? What are your concrete plans? I've seen a whole bunch of smiling and this and hugging and taking pictures. That shit don't mean nothing to me at all. So tomorrow we'll try to get to the bottom of that. You know me, I'm fair. I'm super fair. I just ask the questions. And so if you've got any questions for the school board, shoot me a direct message. That's the best way to do it. If you put it in the chat, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. But if you got a question, shoot it to me in direct message, and we may put it out there. We may put it out there. You don't know. Now, the thing about it is I'll be representing the NAACP and the Prince Hall Masons. So it's not the same as the Nathan Ivey show. Here, knives are out. Knives are out. Machetes are out. Nunchucks are out. All the weapons are out. I'm serving some other folks, so my style will be a little bit less of what you come to expect. I'll tell you that off the top. But I got a certain standard I bring to the table, no matter what, and hopefully we can use that to give us a sense of who these individuals are. I don't know. I don't have any particular. I'm not swayed one way or the other. I just want to know who they are. What would you do? What do you think? What are your plans to address the very, very critical issues that we see happening with our school board and their decision making? So hopefully, now it's a forum. It's only a couple hours long. You're going to have 6 people asking questions. I mean, there's only so much time, but I'll do my best to try to get to the bottom of it. And you can watch it all on Facebook. You can watch it all at the Cincinnati NAACP's Facebook page. We may simulcast it on CDM's page as well. That's Sin Digital Media. But check that out and participate. You may have some questions in the moment. Like right now, you'd be like, damn, man, I can't think of no questions. But tomorrow you might have some questions. Sleep on it. Just join the chat. Maybe you drop them in the chat. And if I can read them and there's time for it and it makes sense, I'll put it out there. But again, if you got questions right now, direct message me with your questions. And who knows, we may put it out there. Good morning to you. Let me see. Sean writes, no, according to natural law, she had the right to defend her child. Yeah, my thing about that is as I watched the video, I thought to myself that if, in fact, the teacher abused, and there's different levels of abuse. You may have verbal abuse. You may have verbal abuse, which is bad. You may have maybe emotional abuse. You may have physical abuse. Now, if it's physical abuse, all bets are off. All bets are off. If I'm on the jury, I don't see no crime. You got what you deserved. When you're dealing with other people's children, people should take that very, 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 very seriously because everybody is different. You got some parents out there, like if a teacher messes with their kid, they'll just go to the school and talk about it and raise a little hell and go home fuming. I'm mad. I don't like that person. You got others that'll catch your ass slipping and put something in the back of your brain and deal with the consequences. I'm on that end of the spectrum. I've already told you, if somebody do something to my daughter, I'm going, fuck everything. I'm going to catch you. I'm going to catch you slipping. I might wait a year or two. I'm going to catch you. And I'm going to put something in the back of your head. And then if I got to call the police, I'll just deal with the time. It's worth it to me. That's how we roll, period. Not for everything. I'm talking about something serious like sexual abuse. Oh, I can't even talk about nothing like that. I have had situations with my daughter in particular, not so much my son because he's just in the process, where we've had situations with teachers where they had to be checked, and I check their ass. I let them know they can't stand me. They don't like seeing me coming. They can't stand me. I'm one of those kind of parents, but I'm the nicest guy in the world. Just don't with my peoples. Do your job. And I don't really have a lot of patience for that kind of stuff because I did that job. For some of you who know, in another life, I was in, youth development, before and after school teacher in CPS, the whole 9 yards, had hundreds of kids go through my program that I solely was responsible for. I dealt with kids on all kind of levels, dealt with the so-called, kids that had some challenges, gifted students, dealt with all of them. So people can't really tell me nothing about that because I've been there, done that. I was able to do it and keep my cool. So I expect the same thing for people in that profession. I really respect it, but it's just some things I have no tolerance for because I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a bad day. You don't bring that to a school situation and put that on a kid. Because if you do, you put your life on the line, period. And, I used to tell my staff just that, like, watch what you do. Because these parents are coming here and will get at your neck. And if you did something crazy, what you want me to do? Get in the middle of it? Nah, deal with that on your own time. If you bold enough to do all this F-ish, when mom and dad ain't there, then keep that same energy when mom and dad show up and they got the knives out. That's on you, buddy. But of course, I didn't tolerate none of that on my staff and my program. It was, your ass was done because we protect the babies. The babies go home safe, emotionally well-being, all that kind of stuff. So It's just some things I got a short temper for. You already know that about your boy. You know, people like handicapped people, elderly people, children. Oh my God. Nothing gets me going faster than somebody that abuse those kind of people. Nothing gets me going faster. So when I watched this video, I ain't had no sympathy for sis. I'm sorry. Now, if more comes out about the story and we find out that, you know, the mother was tripping and she didn't really do nothing, that's a different story. But if you're a teacher, a preschool teacher, a public school teacher, and you out here abusing children, then get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Because when it comes, I don't want to hear no BS. I don't want to hear no whining. I don't want to hear, oh, call the police. No, I don't want to hear none of that. You know, you was super tough and all this kind of stuff. Then keep that same energy. So let me go over to MTO News. If you want to look for it for yourself, again, this video quality is not good at all. It's not good at all. I'm going to tell you that right now. It is not the best video quality under any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to show this to you. Now, for people that's kind of squeamish and you don't like, you know, seeing people get their ass whooped on video, you might want to turn away in a second. This ain't for you. You sensitive. But for those of us that are kind of used to this kind of stuff, then I want you to check this out. Hold on one second. I'm going to put this up here for you. It's not the best. This is on TikTok, and it's like a screenshot of a screenshot. It's not the best video at all. There's a big part of me that doesn't even really want to show it to you, but I'm going to show it to you and let you make your own decision. If you can get something out of it, blah, 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 all other kind of stuff. But I'm giving you a heads up. It is not the best quality under any stretch of the imagination. I already know that. Okay. Y'all ready? You ready for this? Now, if you squeamish and you don't like this kind of stuff, and oh my God, Nate, I hate these kind of videos. See how small that is? But I'm going to play it for you anyway. All right. You ready? All right. Roll tape. Check this out. Oh, mom ain't joking. Look at that. She whooped her ass so bad that her own shirt came off. Y'all see that? She whooped that woman so bad
for powerful relief
that her
of
own
allergies
shirt
and
came
congestion.
off. Not the shirt of the woman. Now, you know that's some furious fighting right there. When your shirt come off. I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't the best quality. It's like this small, right? You can barely see it on some levels, but some of y'all might have got something out of it. Maybe you could expand your phone or something like that. There's no video. And it's like, what is that exactly? Like, was that somebody that took a screenshot of the screen or something like that? That's what it looked like. It was a screenshot of the screen. But in the video, the mom wearing pink can be seen running this woman down. It's a daycare worker. The daycare worker is running from her. But mom was not to be deterred. And I'm thinking it's either one or two things that happen here. Either mom is emotionally or mentally disturbed and just had an episode and overreacted, or something happened that made her snap on that teacher. Something happened that made her snap on that teacher. And I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. Like, again, we don't have a lot of details. How was the quality of that? Could y'all see that at all? Beat the brakes off of her. She was not playing. And again, I don't know. I don't know. Woody writes, Facebook is mad at you again. Can't see you on Facebook. Anybody else having a show? Show the video again. Please didn't see it. Okay. I think it was an Apple video sent to an Android. It looked as if it was somebody had a phone and they were recording their computer screen, and the video was streaming on the screen. That's what it looks like. Charles writes, if that teacher was abusing her child, then the mother is justified in the court of public opinion. But in the court of law, she went about it wrong. Emotional rage is dangerous. Yeah, you said it about right. You said it about right. Roy writes, good morning. Deshauna writes, good morning, Nathan and all. Good morning to you. Let me see. Mike writes, I see you in the daddy business this morning, every morning. I got to watch her because she's 16. You know, she feeling herself and hormones and all this kind of stuff. She's a student athlete, you know, so, you know, she physically fit for her age. I got to watch her. Kevin writes, her the baby get some work. That's just fair. I tell my child always, it may not be right, but I will be accountable for my actions. Absolutely. Every day, all day. I see Glenn's in the house. What's up with you, Glenn? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Good morning. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, it wasn't the best quality, but I wanted to show that to you because I thought it was interesting. My attitude about it is, listen, in the court of public opinion, like what he just said, when the court of public opinion, justified. You got what you got. What you want me to do about it? You know what I'm saying? When we hold your hand, you out here abusing children. I think the moral of the story is be careful when you work with children and around children. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. I got out of that line of work. I got out of that line of work working directly with kids because it was too emotionally draining. It was just too much. You know, when you do something at a high level, it takes a lot of your attention. It takes a lot out of you. And between the narratives with the children and dealing with the damn adults, because the worst thing about working with children is the adults. The worst thing about working with children is the adults by far. The young people, the children, the youth, that's the best part of it. That's the best part of it. But dealing with all of this and that and the mamas and the daddies and the administrators and the rules and this shit, man, later for all of that. I can't do it. Yeoman's work. Hats off to anybody that can do that. That's just not for me. Cass writes, when it comes to my child, I'm not really pressed about the court of law. If someone abuses my child in preschool, I'm smiling in my mugshot, right? They're going to learn today. They're going to learn today. They ain't going to never, ever do no shit like that ever again. They ain't going to never want to do no shit like that ever again. Right? That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of it. Good morning to you again. 513-873-7134. If you'd like to share your thoughts this morning, I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. In a moment, I'm going to share with you the new fashion statement. It's a brand new fashion statement that men are making out here. And I want to get your thoughts about whether you're going to follow the trend or not. Jenny writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. So before we get to the new fashion trend for black men, brought to us by Kid Cudi and Russel Westbrook. Not sure if you've seen these images. Yeah, you might like it. I want to talk about 9/11. Saturday was the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. 20 years since 9/11 happened. And I've told the story before. I'll tell you again. I'll never forget where I was. I was asleep. I was asleep, slumbering, getting it in. And my little brother Remy called my cell phone. He called my cell phone. He was like, man, you know, somebody just flew a plane. He's like, you watching TV? I'm like, no, bro. You know, when you're a big brother, little brothers always be on some F shit. They always be trying to like punk you or prank you or something like that. And my little brothers are no different. He called me up. I'm slumbering. He's like, man, somebody just flew a plane to the World Trade Center. It took a second for it to compute in my brain. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds strange. Why would someone do that? I'm like, man, stop playing with me, yo. Stop playing with me. He's like, no, I'm being honest with you. I was like, man, stop playing with me. Click, hung up on him. Literally, went back to sleep. I don't know what I was sleeping thinking about. Went back to sleep. I get out of bed maybe like 90 minutes, an hour, maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours later. I can't remember the exact time frame. And I turn on the TV, and what do I see? I see this video. I turn on NBC, Matt Lauer. That's before he got caught up in that Me Too scandal, back when he was the man on NBC. Everybody was watching Matt Lauer. And I turned on there, man, and sure enough, I'm watching what appeared to be a terrorist event. Now, let me say this. I think we should remember all of the heroes involved with 9/11. There was a lot of heroic individuals that gave their life on 9/11, and all the people that lost their life on 9/11. I mean, it was terrible. Like, I see now, if you go on YouTube, you can still see some of the videos, but back then, all that shit was still up there, man. And it was people that was jumping out of like the 100th floor. You can only imagine what that does to the human body when you jump off the 100th floor. Just imagine what that might be like. You're jumping out the window of the World Trade Center at the 100th or the 80th or the 70th floor, or being burned to death because the jet fuel had been ignited and it was ablaze. Remember that? Shit was crazy, man. I can't remember if I teared up just because of just looking at all that pain. I can't remember, but it was like something out of a movie. In fact, since 9/11, you've had action movies like Batman and others that have tried to recreate what actually happened in the real world. It was crazy, yo. It was crazy. And you had all those brave men and women, the firefighters, the first responders, the police officers, the concerned citizens. All those people were rushing into the toxic plumes of pulverized dust and pulverized glass and concrete and metal. All the stuff that comprised a building was pulverized instantly after the collapse or before the collapse. Mixed in that, you had jet fuel that was ablaze, and you had people that was running into that. And that's some heroic ass shit right there, man. I don't know if I'm built like that. I like to think I am, but you never really know until you're in a situation like that. Like, would I run into a burning fucking building to save some strangers? I don't know. I can't tell you, but some people did, man. I think they should always be remembered. On top of that, I think the people who were like, they were on the ground zero site and they were helping to dig out people from the rubble, and they were breathing in all of that toxic, like I said, plumes and dust and things like that we now found out was lethal. A lot of people lost their lives. You know, it's funny, man, because America really don't give a damn. Because you had a lot of people, man. America loves first responders when it's useful. We love police officers when it's useful, like the Republicans. They love police officers when it's useful. But when it's Capitol Police, they don't want to hear shit about what happened to you on January 6th. America loves first responders. We love police officers. But then when these brave men and women suffered, in many cases, would end up being, lethal exposure to all that stuff that happened on ground zero, the families were struggling for decades to try to get payoffs. Nobody say nothing. Nobody gave a damn. Nobody really knew. It wasn't making the headlines. I mean, even to this day, you have families struggling to get the payoffs because their loved ones was doing some heroic type shit. That's some heroic type shit, man. I mean, here you are, breathing in toxic dust because you're trying to dig out somebody, right? I mean, that's that's heroic. It's the only way of looking at it. That's some when you willing to sacrifice yourself for a stranger, that's some real shit right there, man. We should never forget that. We should never forget that. And we should, for real, not just with lip service, not just when it's politically expedient or we can use the scenario to serve some kind of agenda, but we should really and truly and seriously show reverence and respect to our first responders across the board. When it's necessary, when they deserve it. When they don't, they got to get what everybody else get, but terrible. But 20 years later, family, I still don't. That's one part of the story. I think that's a major part of the story that we should focus on. The heroic efforts of these human beings, these brave men and women that put their lives on the line, lost their lives, man. About 3 years ago, I came across a video of I think he was like an Italian-American dude. He was a firefighter. And he was talking about how basically he was going to die. He knew he was going to die, because he had been breathing in this stuff at the World Trade Center, and the government told him it was okay to do so. Turns out it was not. And he had breathed in some stuff into his lungs and permanently damaged his lungs to the point where his lungs were failing on him and he was going to die. He knew it. I watched the video on one of these channels. I can't remember, but I watched the video and it was the saddest thing ever. And you know, he had made his peace with it. He had a wife, kids, a whole 9 yards. And for a family man, that's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a thing to know that you're gonna die and leave your family behind. That's something that no man or woman should ever have to deal with. But he was dealing with it. You know, he was on some brave type shit. Like, I know this is gonna happen. I'm just trying to put my affairs in order. I guess when you're looking at the end of your life, that's the best way of dealing with it, huh? But it just broke my heart all over again. Those are my general feelings about 911. 20 years later, just my heart breaks for what happened to those brave men and women. My heart breaks for all the people that were on flight. What was it, 94, 95, the people that were trapped. So what happened is, I can't remember what floor it was, but the train, let's say that the World Trade Center is 100 stories. The plane hit it like, I don't know, the 79th floor. So if you were above the 79th floor, you trapped. You trapped. You know, you can't go down the elevator. You can't go down the stairs. You can't Spider-Man your way down and swing back in on some Mission Impossible Tom Cruise type shit. You trapped and you know it. You're about to die. There was actually, and it still may be there. I didn't look for it because it's just so emotional. But there was it's a video, but in the video, it shows the outside of the World Trade Center. Okay. The audio is a man that is trapped above the crash line. So the crash line is here. He's up here. Can't get down. He's on the phone. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. And all of a sudden, the World Trade Center collapsed while he's on the phone. You hear him go, ah! And this voice just kind of gets drowned out in what appears to sound like just falling debris and things like that. What the hell? What the hell? So that's part of my feeling. The other feeling that I have is these damn Republican presidents are always talking about strength in America, strength in America. And it always bothered me that George Bush didn't take more blame for 9/11 because that shit happened on his watch. And the backstory on that is that the Clinton, what happened was the Clinton administration told the Bush administration that there was, credible intel that there was something that might happen. But the Bush administration came in, it was on some anti-Clinton everything. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear, this is true. We don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear that. Right? And they didn't properly pay attention to the warnings. 911 should be looked upon as an incredible fiasco of the Bush administration. And this mofo had the nerve to be talking on Saturday. I heard this mofo. I seen this mofo on C-SPAN. I turned that shit off so quick. I don't want to hear what this fool got to say. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's Cheney's fault. It's Rumsfeld's fault. Y'all was in charge. And there was credible information that they had advance warning. They had advance warning that something was about to happen and they didn't react. Now, how is that possible? With all these gadgets, we got satellites, we got metal and all kind of shit on the moon, on Mars. And y'all were completely powerless to stop some men with some box cutters from hijacking a plane. Now, things are different now. Security's different. You know better, you do better. I'm just here to tell you that I remember the information that was coming out. See, I don't forget certain things. And the Bush administration dropped the ball. That's what happened. Now, let's deal with some of the conspiracy theories. Let's deal with the conspiracy. Ben writes, Nate, check out the declassified reports about 9/11. It was fun about Saudis living in the U.S. Yes, it was. We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about the conspiracy theories. 20 years later, it amazes me. 9/11 has been a very, very interesting thing to observe. As I got older, because I was born after JFK was assassinated, but JFK's assassination was just a part of American history. Every year they kept talking about this shit and we learned about it. Lee Harvey Oswald, it was him, it was Lone Gunman. Man, please. I don't know who killed JFK, but it damn sure was no damn one man with a bolt action sniper that just there's no way that he could have done what he couldn't have pulled off those kind of shots in that kind of time frame. It just couldn't have happened. And as I got older and started to read for myself, I realized that, like, wait a minute, this is some bullshit over here. This motherfucker didn't kill no JFK. Who killed JFK? Was it the mob? Was it some kind of U.S. conspiracy? We'll never know. Was it because of Vietnam? Was it I don't know who did it. I just never believed the official story. And it always kind of like irked me. I couldn't really figure out how the majority of Americans could be so sheep-like and just go along with it. Like, well, I guess he did it, even though they know damn well it makes sense. And then 9/11 happened. And we saw a very similar kind of thing that defies the eyes happen right in front of us. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I've watched controlled demolitions with my own eyes, not on video. And what I saw with the collapse of the World Trade Center appears to me to this day to still be a controlled demolition. I don't care what nobody say. The World Trade Center was built to withstand an impact from a plane. Buildings don't collapse like that unless it's a controlled demolition. They just don't do it. The steel, it just don't do that. And it's just been amazing to see so many Americans sit back and believe this dumb shit. I don't care what nobody say. You may not like these flows. Again, I can separate the heroism that we saw and the tragedy we saw from the science. Science don't work that way. And then you had World Trade Center number 9 that's around the corner down the block that was hit by just a little bit of debris, and it collapsed on itself the same way the Twin Towers did. What? Huh? So 3 buildings collapsed that day, not 2. It was 3 buildings, right? The 2 World Trade Centers and then World Trade Center number 9, which is a shorter building, which is down the street around the block. What? They all just collapsed on themselves. I'm here to tell you, family, I don't have all the details, but somebody got paid off that. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. Now, whether it was geopolitical, because 9/11 was the impetus that took us into war in Iraq and Afghanistan, which we just pulled out. As I told you, the pullout method never works, whether that be in human intercourse or regime change. It always goes badly. I got 2 kids because of the pullout method. The shit don't work. It's ineffective. It's not really that efficient. So I'm not here to tell you I got it all figured out, but I'm just here to tell you I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I still believe it was an inside job. I still believe that there were people that knew about it. And there's a lot of information. There are people that made money, leveraging speculation, and made money off of what happened. There are people that made money speculating that something spectacular was going to happen with the airline industry. There were people that were setting up telescopes prior to the event. And the telescope is facing the World Trade Center towers, and they're just waiting for it to happen. How did they know? So y'all can believe what y'all want to believe, as we all can as adults. And again, I can separate, World Trade Center number 7. Glenn Rice, say the prayer, Nate. I said it earlier, I said it again. Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. I got to say my prayers on when I open these days, because they catch you slipping when your eyes are closed. But I just don't believe the official story. And it's been interesting to see this mass, what's the word for it? This mass, I don't know if it's a delusion. It's been interesting to see how the powers that be, how repetition, saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, can really control human beings' brains. Not mine. Not mine. I don't believe it. I don't know who got paid. I don't know if it was about money. I do know there was some gold bars. There were in a vault that just disappeared. I know there was a lot of speculation out there. I don't know what's true, but I do know one thing. There's a lot more to 911 than the public actually knows. There's a whole lot more to it. And there were people not related directly with, being on the planes that knew about it, and allowed it to happen. Think about what happened. After 9/11, they ushered in the surveillance society, the Patriot Act. Now we got to surveil every American. Every American wasn't a part of it. We go into Iraq. Iraq had nothing to do with it whatsoever at all. Nothing. Saddam Hussein had nothing to do. I used to argue with people about this. Like, what is Saddam Hussein about it? He was a bad guy. There's a lot of bad guys around the world. So what? Let them people deal with it. Afghanistan. They claimed that Osama bin Laden was in a cave in Afghanistan when he planned it all. 20 years later, we leave in Afghanistan with our tail between our legs. Opium production ramped up while the military presence was there. And what did we gain? A lot of people lost their lives. Now, if you're a part of the military industrial complex and you make money off of building bombs and planes and smart torpedoes and all the mechanisms that the military use, jackpot. You made a guap. You're just printing money. More money, but I don't make money that way. And many of you probably don't make money that way. So Kevin writes, the planes didn't explode on impact. They exploded inside the buildings, hence the look of a closed explosion. I don't remember them. I think I don't remember there being an explosion. I think the jet fuel ignited. There was definitely a collision. But I'm just here to tell you, I still don't believe the official story 20 years later. We will never know the truth. Just like JFK, we'll never know who was on the grassy knoll. We'll never know. The Zapruder film, we'll never know what really happened. And we'll never really know what happened on 9/11. All I know is that some shit defied science. We went into a war in Iraq. We went into a war in Afghanistan. And they ushered in the surveillance society with the Patriot Act, which gives the government the ability basically to rip up the Constitution, do what they want to do because of terrorism. Meanwhile, the biggest terrorist threat that we have is from white men. It's the truth. Since 9/11, you tell me what's been the biggest spectacular terrorist event on American soil. And I'm going to tell you that white men, homegrown white men, have been behind all of that shit. I'm to be honest with you. If you're a white male and you own that truth, you shouldn't have a problem with what I'm saying. If you own some dumb ish, then you probably like, I don't like this dude. Holla. I'm not here to appease anybody. I'm here to give you the straight facts and some opinion as well. All right. But those are my thoughts about 9/11. I mean, number one, we saw heroism on a level that you only get a chance to see when something like that happens. And my thoughts and my prayers are with their families and just remembering all of these heroic acts and the victims. But since then, everything's been downhill. The Patriot Act has not made us any safer at all. It just gave the government more authority to shred the Constitution when they see fit. They got mofos still locked up in Guantanamo Bay. They just released a motherfucker that was in Guantanamo Bay for 15 years, said he didn't do nothing. Then why was he locked up? And yet you got mofos running around here talking about, I've got a right to not wear a mask, the tyranny of the government. You're arguing about the wrong damn thing. You arguing about masks when you should be arguing against the Patriot Act. That's the real threat to your rights. That's the real threat. But human beings are very easily distracted. But enough of my flow, more of yours. Let's go straight to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Who am I speaking with?
This is Chris Nate.
What's up, Chris?
Love the flow. It's crazy because I had the same conversation with my wife on Saturday about how it was a setup. And I wasn't focused more on, I told her about the explosion, how the towers fell. Like you said, it was a controlled demolition. But if you look at the Pentagon, where's the plane for the Pentagon? If any plane crash, you're going to have some kind of a tail or wing somewhere. There was none of that at the Pentagon. No plane rubble at all on those grounds. And if you slow it down, it's more of a missile that hits it and does all that damage. Now, when we go back to the towers, I was looking at some things, and the guy who actually owned the Twin Towers, they said was there every day, 9 o'clock in his office, like clockwork. Let me tell you where he was on the day of 9/11, at home watching it on TV. Now, this guy just recently purchased the Twin Towers. It was less than a year before, and had $1 billion insurance policy on the Twin Towers. So when you talk about somebody making money, he made a lot of more money that day, a lot more. There was one other thing that you mentioned about how the presidents just throw out anything that the prior president, mainly Republican, like you said, the Clintons didn't want to have anything to do with whatever the Clintons had to say, even though that the Clintons have already been through it with the bombing of 98 in the basement when they tried to bring down the towers. Clintons went through it. So they had a playbook. And hence the fact I say playbook, because when President Obama gave President Trump the playbook for exactly what we're going through right now as far as COVID and things like that, not just COVID, but little things like that, he threw it out the window. Didn't want it. Didn't want to play with it. And you see what happened to us. So our government has always screwed us over. 100%. They've always kept secrets. And I'm a firm believer. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'll look at it. And majority of the time, my opinions are right about what goes on if you look in between the lines. And that's exactly what our government does. Like you said, they pull the wool over everybody. Oh, it's fixed right. We got to get together, da. But what are we fighting for? You just fighting because some man said, I'm going to go out here and fight. I'm going to argue with you, so you really can't see what's really going on, what they pulling over on you. Happens all the time.
Yes, it does, Chris. I appreciate your flows, man.
Thank you, sir.
Most def. That sounds like a smart, intelligent brother right there. And again, I'm not trying to I'm just giving you a different opinion. Like I said, in no way, my heart and my first thoughts are with the victims and the heroes. That's where my emotion is. That's what I think about first. That's I have shed tears. I'll be honest with you. I've shed tears about that shit. That's a very emotional thing. You seeing another human being. Like, what makes me good at what I do is I give a damn about people. I do. I'll admit it to you. I give a damn. It was very hard to watch, especially when you're a family dude and you have people in your life that you love. If you know what love is and you see somebody else losing it, that's emotional. If you think that makes me less than a man, okay, it's up to you. But as a critical thinker, I cannot unsee what I saw. And I remember I told you I saw a controlled demolition. The building that I saw was a UC building many, many years ago. Many years ago, they were demolishing a building so they could rebuild some buildings. And I watched it. And it looked the same way as the World Trade Center. Just falls right on top of itself. Now you got to ask yourself, damn, Nate, it'll probably take a lot of people to pull off a conspiracy like that. And you're probably right. But if you think about this, now that we're all grown folks, human beings are easily manipulated. Easily. And over the years, I've come up with like 2 or 3 reasons as to why people would go along with a conspiracy. Number one, money. If you think for 1 second that people wouldn't go along and keep their mouth shut with a 9/11 terrorist event, knowing that thousands of people would die, then you's a damn fool. Look at the cigarette manufacturers. How many people got lung cancer or mouth cancer or throat cancer while these big time cigarette manufacturers and executives was lying to the public? Why was they doing that? For money. Money. There are people out there that'll kill a country for money if there's enough money. Somebody come to you and say, look, I got 100 mil for you. What you gonna do? We're gonna crash this plane to the World Trade Center. We estimate about 2,000-3,000 people gonna die, but you're gonna make 100 mil. What you gonna do? Some people gonna go for that. Well, I didn't pull the trigger. All I gotta do is keep my mouth closed. They're gonna do it anyway. So money, that lifestyle, that Maybach lifestyle, that jet set lifestyle, got homes all over the world lifestyle, servants. Yeah, it's people that'll do you in for less. We see people getting robbed and killed for a couple $100, less than that all the time. You put some serious stacks on the table. I'm talking about stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. You start talking about 7-8 figures. There's people out there that will do you dirty for that money because now they can live the lifestyle that they always wanted. It's true what they say. The lust of money is the root of all evil, not the money itself. It's what people will do to get it. That's one reason. The other reason why people might go along with a terrorist event is fear. It's fear. Some shady people roll up on you and say, keep your mouth closed, or we know where your son lives. Oh, this is your boy right here, right? They got a picture of him at recess. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Some shady people roll up on you and say, look, is this your wife? This your husband? They got a picture of your husband with a long telescopic camera lens, through the window of her job or his job. What you gonna do? You gonna go to the police? They say, listen, go to the police. He gonna be dead tomorrow. What you gonna do? You gonna keep your mouth closed. That's what you gonna do. You're gonna go along with the plan. So there's a lot of motivations. Some people, when you look at 9/11, the motivation could have been geopolitical. We're going to redesign the Middle East, that kind of shit. Who knows? It could have been multiple things. But money, fear, agendas, those are the three reasons why you can get people to go along with something. And again, really, you can scare the shit out of people. You got some family people out there, some straight-laced people that they keep their nose clean. They don't really mess with no crime and nothing like that. Somebody shady roll up on you and say, aren't you such and such? This your husband? Just walk away. You get the message. You keep your mouth closed. There's people that keep their mouth closed on jobs just to keep your job. You making $45,000 a year. You making $30,000 a year. I need this job. Let alone somebody threaten the life of your family member. You ain't gonna say a word. Good people. Church, God-fearing church people ain't gonna say a fucking word. They ain't gonna do nothing. So let alone when you put somebody's life on the line or some big bucks on the line, man, there's people out here that do you dirty for a little bit of nothing. For nothing, for peanuts. Let alone stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. They'll do you dirty quick, real quick, because humans are God's little selfish creatures. If it's in our self-interest, most humans are going to go, even good people. You ever had a friend do you dirty? You ever had somebody you thought was cool with you do you dirty? People do you dirty for a little bit of nothing, let alone something that really matters. So that's the reason. I've heard people say, well, that would take a lot of people to pull off a conspiracy like that. You're right about that. But I mean, people are smart. And it's like, oh, we don't want to mess with that. With some people, they don't even have to be confronted. Hell, there's people out here to see little minor crimes and keep, nope, I ain't see nothing. They don't want to be involved. Don't want to talk with the police, let alone something like that. Somebody approached you and you think that they was involved with some kind of 9/11 conspiracy. Most of the people in this audience ain't going to say a fucking word. You're going to keep your mouth closed and try to go back to your life. You don't want no smoke. Tell me I'm wrong. Because you're thinking, if they can do that and get away with it, what can they do to me? So that's the reason why people might be motivated. Human beings are very easily manipulated, especially if there's things they care about. You're a family person, you got a son, daughter? Shit. Got a wife, husband? Psh. I put their ass over a fire. You ain't going to do nothing. You can keep your mouth closed. You can go to church, pray, and try to go back to your life and forget it. People do it every single day. They do it every single day. So I think it's completely possible that you can get people to. Oh boy, left his brush here. I think it's completely possible that it was a conspiracy with 9/11. I don't have any evidence, but it just seems too shady to me. But enough of me. I've been blathering on and on. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Yo, good morning. Okay, call me back. Call me back. All right, 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts this morning. Hold on one second. There's something I want to show you. I want to show you this morning. Super dope. Let's see here. Give me a second to find it, and I'll put it up on the screen here. So that's what it is. Those are my thoughts about 9/11. Again, my first thought is with the victims and all those brave people, those brave souls that sacrificed their life, because life is precious. I don't know about you. I love being alive. And you put that on a live for a stranger, that's not a small thing. That's a really, really big thing that should be acknowledged. Then the second part is the BS. For 20 years, I sat back and watched Americans accept BS. Like, tastes good. Tastes good. Oh, yeah, I believe it. Nat Rice, everybody got a conspiracy. I don't know if it's a conspiracy or not. I just believe in science. And I'll say it again. The World Trade Center was built to withstand a blow, an impact from a plane. It was built to withstand that. And if you go online and go on YouTube and look at the World Trade Center collapsing, if you can still find it, you're going to see something real curious in that video. It's going to make you think, But that's where popular sports and all the things that Americana distracts you with comes in. They keep you distracted so you ain't focused. Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So what? Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Nathan. It's Kev on the cell.
What up, Kev?
Great day to have a great day, man.
Yes, it is.
So I respectfully disagree with you. The one thing that you didn't mention is just plain hate. A good motive to do anything, a bad motive really, but a good motive to do anything is hate. And I really do believe that the folks that took a plane, ran it into a building, just really did have that much animosity. Now, I'm more interested in what was done to them to make them that mad that they would say, first off, part of it could be just kamikaze, right? It's not that much genius, though, in this. It's really just ingenuity, right? It's not genius, it's ingenuity. The folks who can't afford a missile, a guided missile, because, who has billions of dollars to buy a guided missile and aim it at the cowards, took a plane and made it into a guided missile. It's just ingenuity, man. You were talking about how you remembered the day I was working as a forklift operator, and I worked third shift. I was asleep. I woke up and opened one eye and I saw the plane going. I was like, "What movie is this? I ain't never seen this movie before. Why is it on at 12 o'clock in the afternoon?" Or it was like 10 something. And then I heard again at the time. I'm like, "Man, what movie is this?" So I went back to sleep. I get up 2 hours later and everybody's like, "Man, they blew up the World Trade Center." But the thing is, what you said is true. It does look like a controlled explosion. And I put this in the chat. But I think the reason why is the plane doesn't blow up on impact. Those planes penetrated the skin of that building, which means they blew up on the inside of the building, which would be just like a controlled explosion. From that high altitude, right? Because it wasn't in the lower portion of the building. It was in the top of the building that they impacted. From that high altitude, just the pressure of the building itself, on top of itself, would cause it to collapse. And it just like, if you take an M80 and stick it in a pot can and stick it in the ground, you find out what an explosion looks like. So none of it is too far-fetched for me. I get that, people would rather have an ulterior means, but I just think some very creative people decided that they wanted to really impact America for whatever reason. Now, that's what I want to know. Like, my question to you is, do you think, or do you know of anything, because you've done some research on this, of where, America did something to these folks that made them so mad?
Well, that kind of gets to a question I have for you, because you said you think hate was the motivator. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question for you to challenge that logic is, why would Saudi Arabians hate Americans to that degree?
Well, so first off, we assume that we know the nationality of the people that were in there, but we don't know,
we do know.
Right,
it was in the 9/11 report.
We know the
15. We do know 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi Arabian. That's what the facts are.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my question is,
but we don't know that.
Why would Saudi Arabians that have a great relationship with America? Saudi Arabia is one of the richest nations on the earth, so they can afford missiles. Why would Saudi Arabians hate Americans so much to perpetrate a crime like that?
So again, and that's what I was about to say. We do know their nationality. We don't know their affiliation. So there's plenty of people right now, today, that are plotting, planning, hate the country that we live in, right? They got pretty good lives. You look up these stories of people and you're like, oh, they living a pretty good life. Go blow up Oklahoma, go all kind of stuff, right? So your ideology can change all of that. I know people who are, I feel, religious zealots who call themselves Christian. I'm a Christian guy, but I know people that I'm like, hey man, I don't truck with y'all. That stuff y'all talk about is crazy. They say things that make me wonder, like, hey, you might be one of these people that hurt your own people and turn around and say you did it for Jesus, who told you to turn the other cheek. So I don't necessarily know, but I do understand that there are plenty of other reasons why someone would do this. And like you said, even though the Saudi Arabians are rich, you don't know that these Saudi Arabians are rich. There are rich people in America, but everybody in America ain't rich. I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? So I can't afford it. I can't afford a bomb. And I'm from America. America sure can afford a bomb, but Kevin can't afford a bomb. So I mean, again, it's really an ingenious and another more important fact is, not many countries have surface-to-air missiles that can reach America. This is why we're relatively safe here. That's the main thing. You know what I mean? That's why they made a Star Wars project. So they can shoot missiles out of the air in case you decide that you want to try to shoot something into America. I don't know, man. I think hatred is a really, really strong reason to do many things, unfortunately. And ingenuity is a must. That's my flow, man. That's all I got.
All right, appreciate the flow.
One thing though. One thing though.
Yeah.
Bush, man. He started crying on that stage, bro. I thought he turned it off. And I think the one thing that I loved about what he said is he basically said, regardless of anything, I ain't with y'all fools out here talking about we shouldn't have immigrants and all this other stuff. That's not the America. I love that part, man. That unity piece was strong, and I'll give it to him. I tend to like Bush more now that he's not in office than when he was in office. So maybe it's because he really can't affect nothing now. Be blessed, bro.
All right, you too, man. Yep, be blessed. That's brother Kev on a sale. Kev on a sale. He says that one of the motivations could have been hate. Could be. But again, I say, if you know anything about the relationship between the Saudis, the royal family, the Bush administration, there's a very interesting book, and I had the author on several times over the years. His name is Craig Unger, Unger. You should check out a book and read a book titled House of Bush, House of Saud. Y'all, some of y'all who might have been watching over the years know I've had him on many times. Matter of fact, he's been on since I've been doing a podcast. He came on, he wrote a new book, and I brought him on many years ago. Might reach out to him, actually. Maybe a good time to talk to him. It's a very interesting read. Very interesting. And there's a very close relationship between the U.S. government and the Saudi Arabians. We're friends. We're friends. We give them weapons. Saudi Arabia is one of the richest nations on earth. And if you look at it, there's a connection between being radicalized and poverty. Saudi Arabians are not impoverished. There's a lot of question marks. I'm not saying I got it all figured out. I do not. I readily admit that. I do not have it all figured out. There's just too many question marks for me to say I believe the official story. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I do not. And scientifically, the World Trade Center, I'll say it again, was built to withstand an impact such of that nature. And even if it did, it wouldn't collapse perfectly onto itself. It's just the physics, the science of it just doesn't match, doesn't make a lot of sense. But again, 15 of the 19 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. Why is the Saudi Arabians so upset with us? I don't know. Maybe they got a good reason that just hasn't been exposed to us. Why is it in the hours after, in the days and hours after 9/11, that members of the Saudi royal family were whisked away at a time in which there was a no-fly zone? Nobody was on commercial flights anywhere except for the royal Saudi family members. I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you facts as I can recall them. I don't know. But I don't think we'll ever know, quite honestly. Like, I think that we'll all die and we'll never get to the bottom of 9/11 because people have been paid off or they've been scared off, or the evidence has been buried. After 20 years, evidence has been buried. We'll never know the truth. So we're left with speculation and scraps and things like that. That's all we got. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Yo, good morning. Can't hear you. Call me back. Somebody with a 623 number could not hear you at all. It's all muffled. Sounds like Charlie Brown episode. So call me back and I'll try to put you on. What's up, Danny? Good morning. Dill writes, Nate, you were assuming the World Trade Centers were built to withstand a jet crash. Yes, it was. When we know engineers and developers cut corners all the time in construction. It was. Jenny writes, executives in the music industry have been killing off artists since its inception. Really? Who was that? Executives in the music industry, Jenny? Who? Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nate.
What up?
All right. I don't know if we got a delay or what. Anyway, let me start off like this, Nate. I've been looking into 9/11 ever since that happened.
Who am I speaking with?
And there's only Daryl P.
Daryl? Okay.
There's only 7 buildings. And all 7 buildings were destroyed. Building number 6 was scooped out like an ice cream cone. And that's where the gold was at. A video guy went down there to videotape it, and he thought the vault door was wide open, and the gold was gone. There's a lot of good people that got some good videos of what happened, and what the thing is, this is a 20-year in the making. You know, it was going to cost $1 billion to scaffolding both towers to remove that asbestos and the fireproofing. And believe it or not, Larry Silverstein only had the building for 6 weeks. And it was granted to him. He wasn't the lowest bidder, and he wasn't the highest bidder. But he was an Israeli Zionist. So they gave it to him. Also, the bomb sniffing dogs were moved out, and some of the elevators were uncontrollable, locked up, so they could set the charges in. And Judy Woods got a good definition of molecular disassociation energy weapons. And what that does, that blows at the smithereens from the sky and turns all that metal, if you look at it real good, it turns all that metal and concrete into dust. So it was a combination of things, not just the bombs itself, but energy, direct energy disassociation. If you really look at it, you can see around the World Trade Center, there were 1,400 cars burnt up, but no paper. So there had to be some kind of energy that did something to the metals and not trees, paper, more combustible things that normally will burn up. Okay, Nate, that's what I got for you right now.
All right, Daryl, thank you, man. Take it easy, bro. Appreciate it. And again, I mean, I don't want to turn to show into conspiracy theory. I don't look at it as conspiracy theory. I look at it as truth. I think it's just a search for the truth. Are there conspiracies out there, things that have happened and we get told one thing and then the real thing is over here? Sure, absolutely. People do that on jobs all the time. People have conspiracies on job sites, just regular jobs, about shit that's going to happen. They'll tell the staff one thing, and there's a small group of people that know what's really going to happen. They don't say a word, do they? Do they? Tell me you ain't never been involved with that. Companies moving in a different direction, they're going to lay some folks off. One of them people, your friend. They don't say shit to you, do they? Because they don't want to lose their job. So can you imagine you dealing with something like 9/11? People won't say a word. They keep their mouths closed. So people want to use conspiracy theory. They throw that word out there like it's going to, discredit it. But what I'm here to tell you is that's just a part of human interaction. I know somebody close to me. This person was let go. And she found out later on that there were people that she was close to at this company she worked at that knew about it and never said a word to her. She was in her feelings about it. She was in her feelings like, damn, I thought we was friends. She should have said something. Her friend didn't say a word. Now, how do you look upon that? Let me ask you, you're on the job. You got friends on the job. You find out that your friend is about to be let go because they're going to reorganize things. The bosses tell you to keep your mouth closed. What do? Some of y'all have been in that situation. What did you do? Well, in a lot of cases, people don't say a damn word and they justify it as, I need this job. I need them benefits. My kids need braces. I need these medicines. I need this insurance. And we just talking about a regular old job. You might be making 40, 50, 60,000 a year. Hell, you can make $25,000 a year. This shit happens on fast food restaurant sites. So let's not act like conspiracies or when people get information, they don't always share it, don't always have. That happens all the time. That's just human interaction. I'll say it again. Most people are self-motivated. They care about themselves first. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't. If you don't think about you, who is? Yeah. So can you imagine something like 911? Somebody shady roll up on you, or you can just see it from afar and you think, ooh, I don't want nothing of that. I don't want to have no problem with them kind of people. So, it can happen just like that. Kev, Nate sticking with conspiracy. No, I'm sticking with facts. I'm sticking with facts and logic. Facts and logic. Justin writes, that's a silly question, Nate. They hate the American way of living. The Saudi Americans do not hate the American way of living. Saudi Arabians. Saudi Arabians are living quite well. They're living quite well. They're not sitting around. I wish I could watch a Justin Timberlake concert. They're not sitting around doing that. I wish that I could get a taco. Let me get a taco supreme. That's that bullshit, Justin. Wake up, bro. That's that bullshit they tell Americans to make us think that other countries are jealous of us. They're not jealous of us. They might be pissed off because the American government fucked up their country with some regime change or some CIA. They might resent the meddling of the American government, but this whole they hate us because they hate us because we got Pornhub. That miss me with that nonsense. I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that. They hate us. That was the popular narrative back then, Justin. See, that's more that propaganda. That's the same shit that who's the FOP president? What's his name? That's the same shit he be telling the rank and file of CPD. They don't like you. We got to stick together. The general public, especially black folks, don't like police. Please wake up. Please stop. It's so easy to divide human beings. All you got to do is take one group and make them think they're elite and everybody don't like them. And that'll push that group further together. We got to huddle together because they don't like us. Get out of here. They might hate 100 years of regime change and CIA meddling in other countries. They might despise and resent that. But this whole, they hate the American way of life. They just trying to play with your ego, making you think you got something good that other countries despise. Man, please knock it off. And I've never been to Saudi Arabia, but for what I see, they're living good. They're living real good over there. So they ain't sitting in Saudi Arabia like, you know what? I wish I could live in Cincinnati and go to a Bengals game. They're not doing that. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe it. Why would they? I don't believe it. But you're right, though, Justin. They hit us with that 20. I remember arguing with people about this nonsense 20 years ago. They don't like us because we Americans. Sure. Sounds good. Sounds real good. They don't like us because of our freedoms, is what they used to say, right? Knock it off. I don't believe it. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it. We got so many freedoms over here. They don't like us. They might not like if you live in another country under a repressive regime, you may not like that regime. It don't mean that you resent Americans because we got movie theaters. Please stop. Please stop. My work is never going to be, it's never over. It's never over. Dale writes, the question is, why didn't America retaliate against the Saudis? Correctamundo, Daryl. Exactly. 15, if you believe facts and what they told us, 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi Arabian citizens. But we went to Iraq and then we went to Afghanistan. Why is that? Why is that? Think about it. Think critically. Think critically. I'm not telling you I got to figure out because I don't. And if I did, I'd tell you I don't. But just looking at the bits and pieces, it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. But again, I think, my heart and my feelings and my sympathies are with the families of the people that lost loved ones, or, your daddy was a firefighter, your mother was a police officer, and then they got some kind of chronic lung disease because they was breathing in pulverized glass. Or they got some other debilitating disease that completely changed the trajectory of your family. That's what my thoughts and my prayers are, more than anything else. But it is what it is. Brandy writes, money, of course, was the motive. Somebody said their feet is freezing. Not happy to hear that. Justin writes, Al-Qaeda was responsible. They don't recruit all people. Yep, that's what they told us. What in the Obama phone is going on here? Tracy writes, Nathan, you gonna be a Power Ranger this Halloween? Nah, I was downtown picking up some takeout for the wifey and was with my son. We was leaving the park downtown. Ziegler Park. He loves to go to Ziegler Park because it's fun down there. And when you have a 6-year-old, you spend a lot of time in Cincinnati at parks. And I'm walking over to this restaurant where we order takeout, and walking out are 2 Power Rangers. It was the red and the blue Power Ranger, I think. I even took a photograph. Let's see if I can find it. And I just posted something like, damn, where can I get that black Power Ranger outfit? I don't know. No, it was the red and the yellow Power Ranger. That's who it was. Let me see if I can put it up here for you. You can check it out for yourself. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? This is what I want to be. Look at that. That's fun right there. Hold on. You see that? Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. There it is. We have Power Rangers in Cincinnati. And I thought, damn, where's the black Power Ranger? Dale writes, I'll be honest, I did not follow the stories around the World Trade Center towers and Pentagon. I follow more of the human interest stories. You missed it. I'm telling you, it was quite interesting. Quite interesting. But the powers that be, they made their money in the bank, what you drank. They've been chilling in Ibiza, having a good time, while we're here fiddling around trying to figure out what really happened. So Saudis are going to Justin Bieber's concerts, right? Tracy writes, keep my mouth closed. It ain't personal. It's business, friend. Right. See, Tracy is being 100. That's what people will do. They ain't going to say a damn word. They ain't going to say a word because they don't want to lose their job. I mean, I ain't mad at you. I get it. I get it 100%. For me, I'm built differently. You know what I'm saying? I'm built differently. You know, I've been in a situation like that. And I'm telling my friends, like, look, I'm gonna give you a heads up. Because if a job put me in that kind of situation, I don't really want that job. That's just me. I'm built differently. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a worker bee for somebody else. That shit don't really jazz me up like that. So I've been in that situation. I told my friends, like, look, you ain't hear from me, but word on the street is, and in this situation, a person ended up getting fired. But we still cool to this day. I didn't get fired. They didn't go in there and say, well, Nate told me this and I'm pissed. They kept it coming. They was able to like mentally prepare for it and shit. But see, I'm cut differently than a lot of men out here, a lot of people. I'm just different. You know what I'm saying? I realized that. You know, don't put me in a compromising position where I got to compromise my morals for some table scraps. Because I'm going to choose morals over table scraps any day of the week. That's just me, but I sleep good every night. I sleep like a little baby every night. Let me go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati, as well as the good people around the world. And yes, those choppers. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing well, and welcome to the show.
Interesting flows today on 9/11. As people are reflecting and wondering, and I sat back and had a chance to listen to some of your callers as well as your flows. I agree with your perspective and you're crossing the lines and dotting the T's on 9/11. I agree with you 110%. But let's try to take a step back and let me add something to your crossing the lines and dotting the T's. You know, I can separate 9/11. You know, I agree with you as you started out your show. You know, the loss of the loved ones, people that died in those towers, and then the Pentagon, as well as the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania. You know, I'm a pupil of history, you know that. And when I sit back, at the time when I was living in New Jersey, right across the bridge from New York, and in my office, we had a TV up on the wall. So I sat back watching, not in maze or shock or awe, because I understand history repeats itself over and over and over again. And bear with me a second, choppers. I'll let you know where I'm going with this. You go back in time when Hitler was running amok and all over Germany. You know, a Jewish historian state, if you lie to the American people at the time he was living in Germany, if you say the lie to the world about Hitler, and Hitler was saying the lie over and over and over again, the German people believed it, and then rest from there, we know what happened. But Germany was bombed by the U.S., took Hitler out, or Hitler got taken out, or somebody killed him. But America occupied, people don't understand Germany. After Hitler was taken down, America occupied Germany for over 50 years. I happened to go to Germany in the 90s. And when I went to visit my friend, Dr. Irene, she's a professor at a university there in Germany. And she told me when I came there to visit in the 90s, America gave back Germany to the German people. Occupation of a country, taking over. Yeah, Hitler was a dirty guy. Yeah, we know he was no good. We know that. It's a lot more to Germany. I won't get into it because the 6 wealthiest families bankrolled Hitler during that time. But we'll talk about that another time. But let's stick to 9/11. It's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. And when I say that, after the dust settled in 9/11 and everybody sat back, it took 3 to 6 months to have an investigation. What investigation? An 800-page document, $33 million, and nobody held accountable. So, Nathan, you're right with crossing the lines and dotting the T's. With those 2 investigations during that time, a lot of you choppers were in diapers at the time, but you can look it up. That so-called Keene and who else was on that was in charge of that commission report when it was all said and done. Nobody held accountable. This stuff has happened over and over and over again. Yes, you can talk about the Saudis, Nathan. Yeah, they may have an inkling in it, and the media is now jumping on it, waste of time, dollar late, dollar short, with a stupid going after the Saudis. You're not going to hold them accountable. This is steering their way from, let's get to the real deal now, choppers. What did America know? Now, during that one of those hearings, the FBI agent, this woman, she resigned after she did that interview because she knew if she didn't get out, she may get a bullet in the head. But she, just before 9/11, that FBI agent saw the chatter coming. She went to her supervisor every day. Excuse me, can't you see what's going on? There's something is going on. And that supervisor kept saying, we got it. Well, we saw what we got. The towers came down and everything else happened. The U.S., the Congress and the Senate, Democrats, Republicans, they all knew about this. They all knew about it. So you can say the lie here. We go back to Hitler. Say the lie to the American people over and over and over again. They believe the lie. You covered based on that, Nathan. Yes, you're crossing the lines, dotting the T's, and holding America responsible. And then we saw when stupid doofus Bush and Cheney started arresting people around the world, torturing and all that stuff. Oh, it was okay with America, but yeah, torture them. Here comes Barack Obama. What did he do? Nothing. He could have went after Bush and Cheney because they committed crimes. But America has a habit of electing their leaders and allowing them to commit crimes and let them get away with it. Now we jump to Trump. Now follow me, choppers. This COVID. You think this COVID is not so much compared to 9/11? I do. Trump knew about this COVID coming because Barack Obama told him this is where they were setting Trump up. They didn't want Trump in there, but they were setting Trump up. Barack Obama set him up and set him up good. He warned Trump before Barack Obama left that White House. He had a one-day conference dealing with viruses. Everybody forget about the virus Barack Obama had, but Barack Obama jumped on the virus, the czar, whatever that virus was. But he set up a department within the White House to deal with viruses. Okay, Barack Obama's on his way out the door. Here comes Trump. Barack Obama had a one-day conference. 30 of Trump's people was invited. You know how when one administration leaves, the other one turns over the information. And that virus department was set up within the White House. Here's where they set up Trump. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. If Trump's going to be held accountable, I don't think he will be. But Trump knew this virus was coming. And after Barack Obama left, because Barack Obama told him, Trump laid off everybody in that department dealing with the virus. And what happened to the money? Well, let's see if the Democrats are going to chase down what Trump did with that money. So Trump can lie for 3 years. Hey, Barack Obama left me with none. He didn't. Barack Obama didn't say anything, but he waited until he got on that campaign trail with Biden. And Barack Obama couldn't wait to unleash the mercy of Trump. It went over a lot of people's head. They let it go by. Vice President, she even jumped on the Vice President of pinch, letting him know what happened. You were in charge of that virus. What did you do? It went over a lot of people's head. Nobody really fluffed over that. So, it comes down to Nathan Ivey, the lie. The lie, you feed the American people, feed the world the lie over and over and over again. And what? People believe the lie. So your show has basically been on point. Yes, it was a great show. You're on point. All I did is dot the lines, cross the T's, and tell the truth. One of your callers also, and I'm going to end with this, one of your callers brought up the van situation. He was right. That van was just a test to see what could happen. That van wasn't going to do anything coming into that World Tennis. This was before 9/11. All it did is flood some sub-basements in one of those towers. They was just testing it. But then when they took things in motion, it didn't take them long to realize, or somebody realized. I never forget, Nathan, right after 9/11, a month or two after 9/11, it was a Spanish guy. He was a supervisor in one of those lower tower levels. And I heard him on an interview with an independent radio show, non-commercial stated. And he was stating when the feds was coming all through there, interviewing people, when those guys went to run that van in there, they set up a security system in the towers that they wasn't going to let that van or anything come through there. And he worked the night shift, this supervisor. And his job was to monitor floor 1 through 20 or 30 or something like that. So he worked night shift. But he stated before 9/11, and I heard that interview clearly, he stated he saw contractors coming into that building with hard hats on. And since that van situation, they put a security system. Anybody working in there had to wear a badge. And his job was, if you didn't identify who that was, you can stop them. Those guys with them boxes for a whole week came in there. They would not stop. Every time you tried to stop those guys, hey, what are you doing here? They kept walking.
John, I don't want to cut you off, bro, but I need to make a move. I appreciate your call.
Well, I just wanted to end with this, dot the lines, cross the T's. Don't believe what you hear a lot of times. People, do your own research and you'll get to the truth. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, John. Appreciate you as always, brother. And with that, I need to move into a break. Listen, if you want to give me a call this morning, I got time. We here. 513-873-7134. When we come back, I want to talk about this and this. Yeah, that's that new black man aesthetic. Yeah. Everybody knows that Russell Westbrook, that's an NBA player, Russell Westbrook. He was recently acquired by the Los Angeles Lakers, so you'll see a lot of them on national television playing with LeBron. But yeah, this is New York Fashion Week. Yeah, they set the trend. You ready for this? You ready for this? Get ready for this. If you're not ready for it, get ready for it. It's coming no matter what. We'll be right back, everyone. Don't go anywhere. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission.
Love interrupted by tragedy. Lost in the drought of nightfall. Running in search of the remedy. Trying to find her place in it all. Focused only on the negative. All she can attract is pain. Perception is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter, but she ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know she'd rather keep her distance, but as time moves on, she's drifting away. Drifting away from me. But did the ocean breeze specify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that shape to quicksand. Just when you think you're in control, but you're not alone. Take my hand, no shame in the surrender to a bigger picture. Birds fly south for the winter, but you ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know you don't wanna burn bridges, but as time moves on, you slipping away from me. But did the ocean breeze pacify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself, on the run from yourself. You thought the grass was greener, but she was safe.
The words for today are to grow a better business. It takes 60 seconds for the universe, through the invisible law of attraction, to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you today because you are just 60 seconds away from growing a better business. Take the next 60 seconds and grow a better business by telling a business story for 60 seconds 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it will take to change your life. Now say this better business story out loud 3 times a day. It is my divine and human right as an entrepreneur to grow and prosper my business so that I can bless others. My business is growing, expanding, increasing in revenue and profits today. For a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Picking the locks to your brains and coming through blasting. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. Broadcasting live from a secret location somewhere inside the Cincinnati area. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You got me up until 9:30 a.m. this morning. We've been talking about numerous things. I want to talk about this. Yeah, Russell Westbrook has been getting a lot of comments after he posted this on Instagram. I believe this is New York Fashion Week. And if you know anything about Russell Westbrook, he is a guard. I don't know if it's point guard, I think it is. Point guard, shooting guard. We'll say guard to be safe. Point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. Gonna bring home that chip for LeBron. That'll be hopefully ring number 5 for him. I rep for LeBron because he's from Ohio. And people hate on him too much. And now I love an underdog. So now I got a rep for the bro. Hope you get 20 of them. You can end this senseless conversation about him and Kobe. But what you think about that, fellas? Can you see yourself rocking? Number one, you got to have a body to pick that off. You got to have the body type to pull something like that off. But ladies, is this sexy? Is this the new sexy, ladies? So ladies, I want to know, is this the new sexy? Fellas, could you see yourself rocking something like this? That's like a kilt. That's a Kid Cudi. He's an actor and also a rapper as well. Oh, look at him. Oh, she likes it. That's an interesting combo. His is more of like a gown. This is more like a Scottish kilt. Yeah, real men wear kilts, I guess. Okay, that's what you like. If that's what you like, I say do you. Do you. Kamara writes, good morning and happy Monday. Same to you, Kamara. Good to see you. Nat writes, I'm telling my friend too. Shauna writes, I'll tell my friend without actually telling my friend. I throw hints. Exactly. If you're dealing with somebody that's smart and intelligent, you can tell them without actually telling them. And that way you can always say, I didn't tell nobody nothing. But everybody's got different, everybody's built differently. You got some scared ass motherfuckers out here. Some people are so scared. I'm never afraid about what somebody else has. I'm just different. Dale writes, in diapers, I was a grown-ass man, John, huh? Rosemary writes, good morning. Woody writes, what's the name of the FBI female agent that told the FBI? I forget her name. She might even wrote a book. You know, she wasn't quiet about it. Davis writes, 9/11 was an inside job. Been telling y'all for years. Filibuster John. Nate writes, damn, Brody. David writes, Nate, will you rock Brody's outfit? If so, if you do, Junior will give you his vibranium to bring you back to reality. I'm not a kilt kind of dude. That's not really my style. But if, you know, everybody, I can't pull that off. You know, he can pull that off. Angelo writes, it depends on the relationship I have with the other coworker. If we tight, I'm putting a bug in their ear. Hope they do the same for me, but it's always good to have a plan B, C, D, and maybe E. Absolutely. It does. Again, my question is, if you're just tuning in, my question was, we was talking about 9/11 and conspiracy theories and how can you pull something like that off? And I just made the point that you got people on regular jobs that don't say a word when shit go down with coworkers, even friends. They don't say a word because it's within their own self-interest. So that's how we started on that. And I've been in a situation like that. With somebody who, when I first started working with her, I didn't really like her. I didn't care for her too much, but I grew to have a respect and a fondness for her. And when I found out, I told her. You could tell people without telling people. She ain't say a word about what I said, but she was able to this day, our relationship is still good. And she was able to, you know, at least mentally prepare for what was about to happen. You know what I'm saying? I ended up leaving that job because I couldn't stand those motherfuckers. You know, like for me, if I'm on a job and I see somebody get done wrong, why would I think you do me any different? Do the same thing to me. So for me, I'm just not that kind of person. I was built to be an entrepreneur and do my own thing. I'm not really built for those kind of things. I've learned over the years. Because I'm not willing to compromise certain things. I'm just not going to do it. It just ain't going to happen. And when you work for other people, you got to be willing to eat shit and do whatever they tell you to do. And I'm just not willing to do that. Not to say I could never see myself working for somebody else, because I could in the right scenario, but I bring that same mentality to any situation. I'm just different. I don't hate on people though. I understand. I get it. But what y'all think about that new black male aesthetic right there? Y'all ready for this? If it was Gucci, you'd be trying to put it on. Maybe. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. Brother. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I hope everybody had a good weekend, especially you Cincinnati Bengal fans. What an outstanding game. What a great performance. All those haters out there, Glenn, leave the coach alone. Give him and his young quarterback and his new team a chance, because what happened yesterday was a turning point for that team. And I can't wait to hear from Fane Rothstein, shout out to the All Middle, and the Betting Public Sports Show to have his take on yesterday's game. But, Mr. Ivey, speaking of conspiracy theories and John's long-ass story, I don't know what the hell, he lost me, boy. But because you're an excellent talk show host, you cut him right when you needed to. But, Mr. Ivey, speaking of conspiracy theories, do you remember the emergence of ISIS-K during during the withdrawal turned evacuation in Afghanistan? Do you remember ISIS-K?
ISIS-K? No, I don't remember. What is that exactly?
Okay, well, about a day or two before it was time to leave to get everybody out, August 31st, there was a suicide bomb at one of the gates, the Abbey Gate at the Ahmed Karzai Airport or Kabul Airport. And people were saying it was ISIS-K who did it. So the next day, President Biden and the military launched a drone attack on the site, but they didn't say who the person was killed. And then the day after, 2 days later, another drone strike was carried out, and supposedly it blew up a truck that was carrying bombs, and there was some collateral damage. But now, Mr. Ivey, there are investigations that were done, two separate investigations done by New York Times and the Washington Post. Fact check that, Donita. Published recently, questioned the official account of what happened, including whether the driver of the vehicle had been associated with ISIS-K and whether the car contained explosives. The investigations have identified the driver as Zamari Ahmadi, a 43-year-old electrical engineer working for Nutrition and Education International, NEI, a U.S. aid group based in Pasadena, California. Family members of Mr. Ahmadi told the Times that Ahmadi had worked for NEI since 2006 and had applied for refugee settlement in the United States. And again, that day, the vehicle was said to have been done several stops in Kabul, including the alleged ISIS-K safe house. So, Mr. Ivey, there's an investigation going on, but I'm just saying, speaking of conspiracy theories, it's quite strange that there have been no reports of ISIS-K. There have been no identification of the people that were killed in that second drone strike, that there was collateral damage. And then this story comes out about the guy who was driving the vehicle was a U.S. aid worker. So I'm just saying, Mr. Ivey, our government right now and its leadership, all the way from the Pentagon to the State Department, they could not be trusted, Mr. Ivey. It's clear. I don't know if you saw any of the Sunday shows yesterday, but it's just going completely downhill for the Biden administration. And then on top of that, he plans on coming out here to California to campaign for Gavin Newsom and the recall. Now, if anybody watched any college football on Saturday or NFL on Sunday, almost every single commercial break had a commercial, at least out here in the California market. Maybe I can't speak for nationwide, obviously, but here in California, every commercial break yesterday, Sunday, NFL, Barack Obama was doing an ad to stop the recall of Gavin Newsom. But Mr. Ivey, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Maxine Waters, Dianne Feinstein, all representatives from the state did not do an ad, did not speak. I'm telling you, Mr. Ivey, because of California's all mail-in ballots, they are worried that the ballots are not coming in from the precincts that they expected, just like that happened in Cleveland. They are terrified about turnout because they're worried that they don't have enough mail-in ballots in yet to offset the possible walk-up in-person balloting that the Republicans plan on doing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens today or tomorrow when the president comes out here, because I think they're worried, Mr. Ivey. I'm not predicting that Gavin Newsom is going to be recalled, but the fact that they're making this a recall of the Republican Party, that makes no sense. This is a blue state. Signatures to recall him were from Democrats as well as Republicans. So again, Mr. Ivey, speaking of conspiracies, do not trust anything from this administration concerning Afghanistan. And I don't even want to talk about the debacle of the mandate when they did not include federal employees, which are postal workers. So that hopefully Glenn from Mason, a huge fan of the president and a huge spokesperson for the desperate Democrat Party. I ain't heard from him lately, Mr. Ivey. I hope the man is well. I hope he ain't back to eating Popeyes 12 packs and smoking Newport cigarettes and drinking whiskey. I hope the man is okay, because I have not heard from him on local Cincinnati radio or on the Nathan Ivey Show. So, Glenn from Mason, I hope you're okay. I hope your politically petty podcast is okay. But you need to get on this show and make people feel comfortable about the president and the Biden administration. That's all I got, sir. It's Drop Squad 52, also known as the Black Knot Democrat, dropping science to anyone who wants to fact check it. I'm out.
Appreciate the call. That man, he don't stop. And Glenn can do whatever the hell Glenn wants to do. He might be chilling. You don't want to call in. That's fine. Billy writes, you say he sets the trends where when? You can call me toxic masculinity. Well, I'll bet that with my sons, we're men and we dress as such. Never gonna let my son think this issue's okay. Never. Okay. Kevin writes, he is not pulling it off. You don't think you're pulling it off? I don't think you look bad. I've seen dudes in jeans that look worse. Now, that's just like a Scottish kilt kind of thing. So, you know, I'm not going to say that you can't be a man if you Scottish and you wear a kilt. That's their culture. That's their culture. A lot of people are going to look at this and say this is more of that emasculation of the black man. And you can look at it that way. I definitely can see that. That's not my style. I can't see a scenario in which I might want to go out like that. But Russell Westbrook's on a whole nother level. He's a big time somebody star, millions of dollars. He's a cultural icon. He dressed different. I don't see a scenario in which I might want to wear a Scottish kilt. That's not me. Maybe I'll go to Scotland one day, and that's what everybody's doing. I guess in Rome, you do what the Romans do. But, you know, ladies, you out with your girls. You ain't never necessarily looking for nobody, but, you know, you single and always looking if something catch your eye. You see this brother walking through. He walked straight over to you on some straight up alpha male type ish, super assertive. He started talking to you. Are you open to hear what he has to say? I don't know. Didi writes, he will never just let Danita be. No, he will not. He will not. Drop is reading verbatim them from a news story. Billy writes, if he wasn't a pro ball player, she wouldn't give him the time of day. Nat writes, Roland Martin let Chris Christie have it yesterday. I've seen the video, but I haven't watched it yet. I'll check that out. Denise writes, why, Nathan? Look disgusted or something unbothered? Hey, let him do him. Let him do him. Maurice writes, dude's not Scottish. Brent writes, come on, Nate. Kills don't go below the dude's knees. He looks like Russell's skirt goes down to the ground. Again, I'm not telling you this is my style, but I'm a live and let live kind of brother. If that's what you want to do, that's you. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
This is Fame Rothstein. I personally think Russell Westbrook's an asshole for dressing like that. You know, wearing a kilt. First of all, you ain't Scottish. You know, so why would you want to wear? There's just no reason for any man to be doing that. I don't want to hear fashion, you know, because it's European fashion. I don't want to hear none of that crap. These cockamamie excuses that these people are coming up with for walking around looking like birds. There's no reason for a man to wear a kilt, a skirt, anything like that. There's nothing savory about it. It is more of the feminization and the setup of the destruction of the black race. This is why I have a problem with gay people. This is not the right time for you to be exhibiting that behavior. Black folks need to be stronger than ever right now. And for you to behave like that, Russell Westbrook or any beta male, we can't use you right now. You're not helping the black condition when you behave like that. And also, you personally, again, you're confusing the people. 9/11 was an inside job. You love the conspiracy theories, loose change and whatnot, but make sure you put on a mask and get the vaccine.
Those two, you can't line those two up, Nathan, together. 9/11 was an inside job, and tell people that they need the vaccine. That doesn't make sense. When are you going to? When are we trusting the government or not? Make up your mind, talk show host. And to answer Drop Squad 52, I mean, it is what it is. They won one out of 17 games. It is what it is. I mean, came back and won at home. I mean, I'm not thrilled either way. It just is what it is. I don't like this coach. It's going to take a miracle season to sell me on him. You know, it's like
that's right, because you predicted that the Bengals were going to lose.
Yeah, I did predict that, and I knowing what I know yesterday, I still would have predicted it. I don't trust this guy. I'm going with my intuition, my stomach. My stomach tells me this guy ain't a coach. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But I'm going with my gut. I mean, what the hell? You trying to rub that in my face?
A little bit.
That's what the novice does. That's how I can tell you a novice. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the novice does. Try to rub the runs that you lost in your face. But when you win, they got 1,000,001 excuses. You know, when they win, they don't want to give you no credit for giving you the right action.
No, I think a novice goes with his gut. An expert, a novice goes with their gut. I feel this. An expert does research to try to find some angle that they think will lead and support, they pick.
No, an expert publishes a podcast where he tells you how he does that.
I'm just saying.
It's a math race. I've told you that before. It's a math race.
So is it a math race or is it your gut? It can't be both. Which is it? You're not being consistent.
No, it's a math race, but I go with my gut.
That's that novice shit.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm glad you want to call me a novice about an industry you have nothing. You know nothing about.
I'm just saying, if
you just
going with your gut,
bullshit.
Anybody can do that.
You just some bullshit.
Anybody can go with their gut.
Go out there and do it. Then go out there and do it.
I'm just saying.
You see my videos. You see the preparation.
Why should I go with your gut over my gut?
You see my videos.
If you're gonna do this right, Fame, you supposed to be doing some deep research like the real Rothstein, and so you got an angle on things that other people don't see. Not just going with your damn gut. I don't know if you're going with your gut. You got a feeling you got indigestion or you got gas. I don't know what. So you get gas, and then I lose my money.
The real Rothstein. How you losing money? I don't charge nobody for nothing. In the real Rothstein fixed games.
If I make a bet,
I might have
based
done
upon
that.
your
I might
gut,
have done that,
and I lose. I'm losing money.
How?
I'm gonna say it
charge
again.
You for it. I didn't put a gun in your head and make you do it.
And you're going by your gut, and I make a bet, and I lose my money. I just lost money based upon your gut. I might as well go with my own damn gut.
First of all, you better quit saying bet. That's a 4-letter word. I don't bet. I invest.
Or what?
I invest.
Oh, okay.
I invest.
Or what?
Okay. What you mean, or what? You can get radio jump, B. Quit threatening me on these records. Quit threatening me on these records. Now, let me continue where I was going.
I can do my own bets if we're going to use guts.
Well, go ahead then. Go ahead. Go ahead. You ain't offended me. I don't charge for it. It's just a service I provide to the public.
It ain't about you charging. It's about me putting my money on the line based upon your indigestion. I need more than that.
3 out of 5 winners, if I give you 3 out of 5 winners, you can't get mad at the one that lost.
Well, I'm just saying.
If I give you 3 out of 5, you can't get mad at the one that lost.
Like I said, a novice does not make bets off their gut. I'm just saying.
To hell he does it.
Or should I say that's what a novice does? A novice makes bets off their guts. You're right. That is what they do.
To hell, I'm telling you, you can go talk to go talk to the one that went to jail for fixing games with the NBA referee.
The real Rothstein didn't do that.
Talking about this stuff.
The real Rothstein didn't do that.
The real Rothstein played at a time when athletes had to teach 3rd grade in the daytime, then go play baseball at night.
He did his research.
Games.
So I expect for you to do some research.
Yeah, he did.
And bring something to the table.
You're right. He did do research. He found out which players made $12,000 a year and paid them to throw the game. You know, the guy on Casino's not a real guy.
I know he's not.
Or his
but he's based upon a real
Rothstein. Guy. He's based upon a guy who's not Rothstein.
I know
the real
that.
Rothstein already did work.
I know that.
You know, so stop. So, you know, I don't know why you trying to shame somebody just because your takes are inconsistent.
I'm just pointing out the inconsistency in your profession, man. Do better.
Hold on, you gonna let me finish? Are you gonna let me finish?
Absolutely. Go right ahead, but do better.
You cause all this obfuscation to hide the fact that you're giving mixed signals to the listeners.
Absolutely not. Nothing could be further from the
truth. You're a damn lie. You're a damn lie.
You're calling the kettle black.
Yes, you are.
That's the pot calling the kettle black.
1 minute, the unvaccinated are hurting people. The next minute, 9/11 was an inside job.
Now you're making shit up.
Really?
Yeah, you're making shit up. You've never heard me shame anybody about the vaccine. Now, masks,
you
that's
do
different.
It every day.
No, actually, I don't.
I'm vaccinated. I'm going to heaven. You know, all that little corny shit like that.
You wild, man. You is wild.
You know, you up here, you know, y'all do this every year trying to clown Rothstein, and then when I knock out, you know, 10 or 10, nobody's got nothing to say.
I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that if you're going to go with your gut, I can go with my gut. That's all I'm saying.
Well, then, go ahead. That's what you would tell somebody who's charging you. I don't charge you, so you do what you want to do.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, thanks for telling me what I already know. I can do what I want to do. Thanks for telling me that.
Exactly. Like, so I don't understand, like, you know, you calling swelling up and shit.
I'm not swelling. You know, this ain't swelling up.
I want to call.
I'm just talking to my brother and holding you accountable. You inconsistent. Like I said, any old novice can go with their gut. I need something special from a professional.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's
like going to a doctor. He don't do no examination. He just look at you and say, "My gut tells me that this is wrong with you." I can do that myself.
Nathan, I'm telling you, you couldn't be further from it. You don't know how silly you sound. That's why I'm really not rebutting that, because you really sound silly in all this. But you know, we don't have enough time to tell you how wrong you are.
I bet we don't.
Pick up a book.
There's not enough time in the world to do that. Quite honestly, we can talk all day. You don't
realize how wrong you are. I wish I could read the comments from those who know, but you know, yeah, you just don't realize how wrong you are. And it's really sad to hear that. Like, huh? What is this man talking about?
Sounds good.
But I digress. Hey, listen. Russell Westbrook, again, Russell Westbrook is an asshole. I want to hear what LeBron has to say about him dressing like that.
He ain't going to say nothing.
You know, LeBron, you're just a kid from Akron who was probably told to be a man, to be an alpha male. What do you have to say about a guy dressing like a woman? That's not fashion. Russell Westbrook's a cross-dresser. That's not fashion. He looks like, you know what's funny? Because 2 weeks ago was the 30th anniversary of his face. What Russell Westbrook gonna do to me? I'm almost old enough to be his dad.
He gonna radio jump you.
Boo! That was weak. That was weak.
I'm using your phrase. He gonna radio jump you.
Why would he need a radio jump me? He's a hoop player.
Okay.
You know, you made me forget what I was gonna say with that weak ass joke.
Yeah. Okay.
Russell Westbrook. Listen, sir. Listen. There's no need for that. You know, you're out in LA now. You want to get into what the freaky deaky out there with them people do, the Kardashians, the Bruce Jenners. You know, this is why athletes should not try to become superstars outside of celebrities outside of their sport. If everything is wrong, everything that Russell Westbrook is doing that's wrong is what's the word I'm looking? It's manifesting. It's coming to. Like really? Every reason they tell you, don't become a celebrity athlete. You know, this is why. shit like this will come out. So that's all I got, B. I got to continue with my travels this morning, but it's been real, and I had fun, and we'll chat again someday soon.
Same here.
Oh,
nice throaty howl. Nice throaty howl. Appreciate that. Howl, should I say. Good morning to you. That's my time, family. I got to make a move. It's 9:44 a.m. Don't forget, tomorrow it'll be streamed on Facebook, the Cincinnati NAACP's Town Hall Forum, along with the Prince Hall Masons. I will be a moderator for the school board Town Hall Forum. Looking forward to it, sharpening my knives and ready to go. Hopefully, we can get some good information, kind of figure out who's the best fit for you. Who's the best fit for you? I think there's at least going to be what, 2 new people on the school board, I believe. So looking forward to that. And then check out the NAACP's Facebook page for more of their forums throughout this month and leading up to the election. All right. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm Nate Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you all must spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face.